Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. I'm Adam Riancho, your host. Today is Monday, June 1st. We made it to fucking June. This year has been moving pretty quickly. It's 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're ripping a few puppies tonight and we're going to have some fun. So let us hop in. It's time to get it started. Vámonos, muchachos. Let's go. Smoking early tonight. We got some members of the chat in here. What's up, Wilson? Happy that you were able to make it for the beginning here from the start. I hope we can get into some lobbies together tonight. 17 Soups saying better get those last minute Pomeranians in. We are actually only drafting in the puppy tonight. I am done with the Pom. The payout structure is not as enticing as the $5 puppy draft. But Pepper Tony's in here. Fimpst, appreciate you, bro. Mr. Mufasa, yo, what's good? I'm doing well. I'm feeling good. Got some food in me, and we are ready to move on for the rest of the night. We're locked in for the drafts. Oh, nice. They did put out puppies. Yeah, the puppy launching today was definitely nice. So that is going to be our contest for today. And as people trickle in, there's going to be just a little bit of strategizing for the moment. But I would also like to thank our sponsor. Bring up a promo. Whether you're a new customer or not, I have something special for you. So first, let's start with thanking our sponsor real quick. Underdog has been a partner of the channel since late last year, and promo code BLUNT at the moment gets you $50 in bonus entries after you play your first 5. So this is the perfect contest to enter in order to get that. The puppy is only a $5 entry, and once you play 1, you can get 10 on me, promo code BLUNT, in the description. You're also going to get a $1,000 deposit match up to $1,000. 50% of your first deposit will be tacked on as well. So pretty sweet deal. And then there's also something to keep in mind, and this is available to everyone. I am currently accepting the puppy challenge in your promos tab. You have to enter on mobile, but this is definitely something you want to enter. I will pull it up here on my phone here. I'll go single shot just to zoom in a little bit. But the Puppy 2 challenge, you want to click that. There's a button that says start. You have to voluntarily enter the challenge. And the challenge is very straightforward. You draft 4 puppies, you get 1 entry free. The challenge will update once the draft starts. I've already done 2, so tonight we're going to draft 2 puppies, probably get the 3rd one for free. And the challenge does expire tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is available for everyone. If you want a free puppy, all you got to do is click start in the promo tab on mobile, and you will be entered into the challenge. Once you draft your 4th, you instantly get that 5th for free. So head over there. Make sure you capitalize on it, because if you're trying to draft with me tonight, we're definitely drafting in at least 3 of them. You're probably going to want more volume than just 5 puppies in the first place. So if you plan to draft more than 4, make sure you click start on the promo tab. Get your free puppy on Underdog. So whoops. Let's get rid of that. And let's hop into the puppy. The promos are done. Maybe we'll revisit it later on just to remind new people trickling in, but wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. The puppy is our plan, and there is a 5-second delay on the stream. I will give you a 10-second countdown, and we will hop into the puppy in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 5 spots left. If you want it, come on down. Should be fun. And I like this contest quite a bit. I'm more excited about entering a puppy as of this moment than I am the Pomeranian. Although it's only $3, the max prize is $50K, and the final has even more people in it. The contest is smaller. I'm pretty sure there's fewer entries in the Pomeranian total. However, it is easier to make the final, and if you do, the minimum you get is $10. The max you get would be second place in the puppy, 50K is nice regardless. I'm not going to shit on that. But if you don't perform very well in the final, you still get a minimum of $400. That's much easier to accomplish than in the Pomeranian. And you still get some decent prizes, even if you're not like, elite in the final week. Top 100 still takes home $1,000. The puppy is really, really exciting, especially compared to a tough payout structure in the Pomeranian. So that's what we're drafting tonight. Make sure you enter the challenge and make sure you claim your free puppy if you're planning on drafting best ball teams. But all right, let's get back to the chat. Soups asking, ready for AJ Brown to jump into the teens, even though we all knew that he was going to be on the Pats. I know. I probably would have drafted more AJ Brown post-draft if I liked his playoff schedule a little bit more. The Patriots, week 17, where all the money is mostly made, not as exciting because, yikes, he gets Patrick Surtain at home. Could be a problem. Week 16, though, he's at the Jets, going to go nuclear. So if you want to just make it to the final, AJ Brown's still awesome in week 16. And then week 15, the first week of the playoff structure, they're at Kansas City on Monday night. That game should be pretty high scoring as well. Don't have to worry about Trent McDuffie, but maybe Mansour Delane in his rookie season could pose a problem. I would still expect AJ Brown to deliver weeks 15 and 16. Week 17, though, good luck. As long as Surtain is healthy, good luck. That's the only reason I'm not dying to click AJ Brown. But I got in the pre-draft contest quite a bit. I'm not really going to talk too much about AJ Brown on today's. We'll mention it briefly, I think, when we get to him. I kind of just want to see where he goes first before I fully address it. But if you've been watching the channel since February, that's what I've been projecting this entire time. I've been staunchly in, 95% sure that category, that AJ Brown is a New England Patriot. You want that stack. And, dating back to when I was on Candyman's channel back in early March, mid-March, maybe like March 10th, something like that. The exact date kind of escapes me, but you get the point. Yeah, I lobbied hard for AJ Brown back when that was happening. And that was before the whole Diana Rossini situation, of course. So, yeah, I've drafted him a little bit less since the NFL draft. I played it at 14% in the pre-draft contest. And at the moment I checked today, I was at 7%. So just below 8%. Structurally, I started taking running back a little bit more often than him in the third. But here we are with Amon-Ra and my boy, Mr. Hampton. Yeah, all day. This is my favorite start at the moment. I think if I'm just going to stick to ADP, if I can get an Amon-Ra mid to late first with a Hampton mid early second, I am very happy with the start of my draft. Wilson, awesome. Just started. Thanks for that. Appreciate everyone for hopping into these lobbies. So if you're watching, I definitely want to make sure you can get that sweet opportunity. That free puppy is very nice. 17 soups. I only enter enough for if I make the final, I at least make my money back for these puppies. I only enter 20. I mean, if you make the final, you get $400. So I think you can enter more than 20 if that's your motive. Or because 20, that's only $100. So you could enter 80 if you wanted, and you'd break even off of one entry that made the final. Everything else would be profit. I'm pretty sure my math is correct on that. I'm like, am I? No, yeah. 20 times 5 is 100. So you would, if what you want to do is double your money, you could enter 40 puppies for $200. But whatever you guys want to do with your bankroll is completely your own business. I've got my own situation. Everyone has their own situation. Your decision is always your decision. Best Ball Berserker in at the number 2. Legend of Zelda on the clock with Gibbs and Brees Hall goes Nico Collins at pick 26. And this one we see AJ Brown at 25. I'm definitely not inclined to reach on AJ Brown at 17 when Hampton, Henry, Chase Brown are on the board. I think the question of Bowers versus AJ Brown is a very legit legit conversation now. Now that we just know, but it's kind of always been that way, and I'm still probably going to lead Bowers. So if you want to pivot to receiver once Bowers is off the board, be my guest. You can definitely argue for some other names, though. I get why Pickens still went above him in this draft. All right, I am coming back on the clock. We could go Trey McBride, but it's not the most exciting. I'm starting to really come around on Javonte Williams. I kind of like Javonte, but his matchup at the end of the season, not ideal. I never take Trey McBride. It feels like it could still be terrible, but you know what? If I am going to do it, I'm going to start to do it past pick 30. And at 32, why not? This is literally if not the first, the second time max I have taken Trey McBride. Literally, I never take him. But just to check in on the people in this lobby, we got Rocco Jamaica about to be on the clock. He started CMC Kenneth Walker. McCaffrey, Kenneth Walker at 11. That's such a nice price on McCaffrey all day. Good click. Adds Javonte, so starting with Tripp, running back, very interesting. Going to be interesting to see where that goes. Coming back on the clock, Rocco Jamaica. Will he pivot to receiver or just commit to the quad RB, go hyper fragile? I mean, as long as they don't get hurt, that's not a bad approach. Yep, he takes Scadaboo. So running back might be a pivot point in this one. But the contest just dropped today. Scadaboo's earlier ADP is irrelevant. Rocco Jamaica just getting him because he's not making it back. Fair click for sure. I kind of want to go running back, but I'm going to ignore Josh Jacobs, to be honest. I think I will just ignore him. And I haven't drafted in this contest yet, so we're going to be a homer, but it is one of the correct clicks, I believe, in the fourth. He will not be back at 56. Let's commit to the Chargers. You know what I like to do. And who knows, maybe I'll be rewarded with a really nice running back price at 56 or even 65, but I'm willing to push it. Because round 4 is, once Scadaboo's off the board, I'm not ready to fall on the sword of Josh Jacobs. I think he could go in the 5th round in this contest, maybe even later. He could fall alongside Bucky for sure. I think him versus Bucky is interesting, and I've seen Bucky in the 6th. So at this point in time, I think I'm going to ignore Josh Jacobs. Just further invest in one of the best offenses in the league this year, the LA Chargers. Was thinking of the Pomeranian structure. In at the 6th spot, 17 soups started JSN, Chase Brown, Malik Neighbors, and David Montgomery. Rather balanced, but the risky approach of trusting Neighbors at pick 30. I don't know. The signings that they made today have to be a bit of a red flag. Am I wrong? I'd love to get the pulse of the chat. They signed, 3 washed receivers today? OBJ, Juju, and I think somebody else. That can't brew a lot of confidence in Malik Neighbors. You know, like the footage of him at the softball game doesn't look ideal. Definitely limping, not running at full speed. That's for sure. I mean, it's still June 1st. You can remain optimistic, but some weird vibes. If I'm drafting a giant, I think I'm more inclined to take Scadaboo right now over Neighbors, and that is also a risky proposition. But it's at least in the 4th round. The third is different. All right, the running back position. I'm gonna ignore Bucky. I want to see where he goes. So not today. And you know what? I think I'm just gonna go anchor. I like this price on Adams a little too much. I'm gonna scoop up Adams here at 56. 5-pick fall. I've noticed my exposures are honestly a little thin on Adams, and we're going true anchor RB with the McBride selection. I can definitely tolerate a 3rd receiver here. Rounds 4 and 5 are quite a sweet spot when it comes to the value. I could argue that Carnell Tate, though, is more valuable than Devontae Adams. I'm coming around on Carnell Tate as like a clear, true 5th round pick, but given the 5-pick slide on Adams, I'll take him. While we doing, come on, baby, turn the lights off. Hope you're doing well. I just want to shout it out. Sosky, I also recognize you in this lobby. You're in here at pick 5. I think that's everyone. Maybe Oh Boy 078 might be watching. That is definitely. I think I recognize Oh Boy, but to be completely honest, unless you mention it, I'm just gonna assume that's just a rando because these puppies are gonna be flying. These lobbies are not gonna take long to fill in general. Would have happily scooped up Beischel Tootin, pushed it, didn't get it, and damn, even Parker Washington was taken. Holy shit. Shit. I am just going to take, there's quarterbacks at the top of the board. Thank God I didn't leave Chuba Hubbard there. Yeah, let's just commit. Let's go Jaden Daniels. The only dilemma here is I'm going to be doubling up on a week 7 bye if I do take Herbert. So I think I'm going to pass on Herbert on this team. I think that was just, I didn't see Parker Washington for some reason. I did not see him. Maybe my dyslexic ass needed to scroll down further. What's the deal? ADP 71. So he was weird. I'm not sure why I didn't see him. He was between Drake May and Alec Pierce. My vision did not show me Parker Washington, but on the thumbnail definitely would have been happy to mix him in. The Trevor Lawrence stack is definitely not bad. But Jaden Daniels unstacked, never a bad click. And oh, sweet, we prevent the Terry McLaurin drafter from getting him. He does get the Devontae Jalen Hurts situation, so set himself up nicely to not be disappointed. All right, let me catch up with the chat. The Rams picking Sampson seems even worse now with the Garrett trade. Simpson, I think is what you mean. But yeah, the Myles Garrett trade is very interesting. The Rams won a Super Bowl in their home stadium last time it happened, going all in again. They maybe are just trying to lure Aaron Donald out of retirement potentially, but just makes a lot of sense. Poor Jared Verse, though. Bummer for Jared Verse. I'm going to go Rico Dowdle here, though. New contest. Who gives a shit about previous ADP? And honestly, I think this is where he really should go. Once Tony Pollard's off the board, I think it's wheels up for reaching on Rico Dowdle. I think he is the more valuable Pittsburgh running back. Jalen Warren already taken at the turn. Trusting my ranks, they do have Rico here. Because I don't... Maybe I have a receiver above Rico because I don't use my ranks on the website when I draft. So maybe like vis-a-vis Alec Pierce, perhaps. But structurally, this is definitely a spot where I should probably get back in at running back. It's about to get thin, and I do value Rico Dowdle as a 7th round pick. So did not take Herbert despite the double stack. I'm not that worried about it. I have a shit ton of Herbert. Herbert is literally my 2nd most drafted player at 30% so far since the NFL draft, since these summer contests have dropped. Would be nice to have a reason to scoop up Dak here. That would be sweet, but I just don't think it makes the most sense. I am definitely inclined to go Kyle Monangai, though. That's fine. I could take Blake Corum, but nah. I think Kyle Monangai, very efficient on the goal line in an elite offense. He is the cheapest Chicago Bear you can acquire, other than like Jade Walker or worthless pieces. Cole Kmet, be my guest. Draft Cole Kmet if you really want to. But in terms of viable on the field, like usable Bears, Monangai is the cheapest one. If you need running back, he will be on the field probably more than last year. I think his snap share could increase, but it will be high enough where he will still score touchdowns. And we saw what he was able to do when Swift missed time. Swift is not, some impenetrable fortress that's never going to get hurt. Like Swift has had injury risk in the past. So there are some very, very good outs if Monangai ever gets the rock. at an elite rate. But what's up, Hallie-Line? Let me skim through the chat. Thanks for joining me today. And be like Hallie-Line. Join the blunt rotation if you're so inclined. The membership down below. Click the join button. And it's a fun time over here. But those are just camp bodies to see if any of them stick. I doubt any of them are worth it. You know, I really, really doubt it. Gives me less confidence for Neighbors. Curious if all three of those guys will end up on the team or if they're cut. I mean, they're so washed. It's like, I get the OBJ just for the, you know, for the feels. You know, that's where he was drafted and all. But, like, why bring in Juju? Why, unless you're, like, really concerned that, you know, speaks poorly on Darnell Mooney as well, you know. Maybe Calvin Austin on top of that. Weird vibes, but all right. I am back on the clock. I could go Stafford, but honestly, I'm going to push it one more time. I'm a little tempted to go Kyle Pitts, but you know what I've noticed? Long gone are the days where you can get Jonathan Brooks at a fair price. So if this is what I need to do, this is what I'm going to do. And honestly, I think this is where you're going to see him more often. I mean, Kenny Gainwell goes pick 99 in this one. So it's the first day of the contest. Get your guys. I anchored Hampton, but Brooks is one of the last that I think could like absolutely crush. And I don't feel like the most confident investing in Monangai as number 3. So give me like a true home run, you know, grand slam type of pick. If Brooks steals the job from Chuba, which I don't think anyone thinks is impossible, then Brooks becomes really, really valuable. Danimal liked this start. I'm pretty sure this was when I took Adams. I'm a bit behind, so appreciate it. Braxton Berrios, yeah, that doesn't matter. Berrios, who cares? But just weird. Yeah, not encouraging at all. How we doing, Zero Fucks? How we doing? Hello. A-Rod, what do you think of a running back room of Genty, Hampton, Scattaboo, Marks, and Emmanuel Wilson? Drafted earlier today and didn't really feel great about it afterwards. It's not bad. I think it's just kind of in the context of the full team. I have Adams, so unstacked Bo Nix. We've tried that before. I could go Goff. However, oh no, Goff has a different buy. Yeah, I'll go Goff instead. Stack up Amon-Ra for sure. Sweet. Glad I pushed quarterback there. Maybe my receiver room is going to get tricky, but having St. Brown, Ladd, and Adams, I only have to start 3 every week. Let's try to get some flex points out of running back. We have the elite tight end. In theory, we have the elite tight end, hopefully, and at least our 3 receivers are taken care of. So need bench depth for sure, but I think given Jaden and Goff have different buys, I'm happy with that. I think we can stop it to enough capital spent. Only need one more running back the rest of this entire draft with Brooks as the 4th. That feels comfortable. So, yeah, it's just hammer receiver. It's like exclusively receiver, and then I'll try to get an interesting value on tight end 2. But with McBride, I could settle for Cole Kmet in theory if I really want. What's up, Hartman? How we doing? If anyone's watching and has not done so already, check out Hartman FF on YouTube. Was live earlier today and yesterday. Love to see that streak going. Hope we can see how long that runs, brother. Happy to have you back in the best ball streets streaming. Very sharp drafter, very knowledgeable. I highly recommend y'all check out Hartman FF, and looking forward to our future collabs. He's been on the channel before, friend of the channel. Shout out Hartman. Thanks for joining us today. Brett, draft a ship a blunt man. I mean, so far, I think we're drafting a pretty good team. Only 3 receivers so far, so gotta land the plane, but it's not the end of the world. There's still some values left, and wow, Pacheco at 124. That is wild. Running back could get weird. I'm happy I have 4. I think we're in a good spot with who we have. Jedi Lion. I'm going to try to hop on the next puppy. Woof woof. Sweet, man. Definitely hope to have you, Jedi Loco. Hey, Mr. Loco. Diggs. For sure. For sure. Alec Pierce is a dog. He's valuable, but we've also never seen him get the type of defensive attention he will this year. The coverage is going to be much tougher for Pierce this season. It's possible his skill set does not transfer as a true number one. I still like him in this range. Definitely if I didn't need RB2 and kind of want to have the stretch that I just did, I kind of wanted a triple tap running back there. That was kind of always the plan. So I'm willing to get a little bit thinner at wideout. I don't think Rico over Pierce structurally is that bad, but there is a world where, yeah, Alec Pierce may have been a more valuable click. Don't forget about Khalif. Yeah, Khalif Raymond. I almost, that name was circling. I was like, I know that the Lions let him go and he went to the Bears just to follow in Ben Johnson's tracks, but the name was evading me, and thank you for the reminder, Soups. Khalif Raymond. How could I forget? Jedi, there's a promo. I don't know if you watched from the start. Yeah, there is a Puppy 2 promo. Yeah. Make sure you get on mobile and hit the start button. Damn, Andrews circles back. I will say, I really like this price on Andrews. Hard to pass. However, I think I might just need receiver. I have McBride, so it's just kind of the nature of the beast. An unstacked Andrews, not as exciting to me. So unfortunately, I'm forced to pass. I go Travis Hunter instead. I'm going to need a lot of receivers, and this could be an interesting 2-5-9-2. Probably not. Probably stop at 8 because I have 3 good ones at the top, but a guy like Travis Hunter does risk a 0. There's a lot of risk with Travis Hunter. The ceiling is insane. So I like to have Hunter, especially on teams that have a few more. I also have seen Hunter go in the 120s. I've seen him go at the 10-11 turn. So to get him mid-12th in this contest, wasn't totally sure if he'd be there. I'm happy with it. We did not get Parker Washington, but at least we got Travis Hunter. Cole Kmet is solid if they run more heavy. He could actually be the piece you need in theory. Like if Loveland goes down, who else would you want off the waiver wire in your lineup that week? It's probably Cole Kmet with a top 10 ranking. Yeah, that puppy deal is not bad. Definitely a sweet, solid deal. Play 4, get 1 free. Click the start button in the promo tab on mobile. On Underdog, definitely on Underdog. Why does Njoku get drafted and not Kmet? I think because of just how the ADP was set. I also don't think that Gadsden strikes the same fear in people that Loveland does. You know, Gadsden, pretty sure he was a 4th round pick. If I'm wrong, he was a 5th rounder. Pretty sure he was a 4th. He goes here at 148. Speak of the devil. Yeah, I'll probably remind the audience again when we're on to draft number 2. Probably let y'all know, but we already said it just then, so I'm not going to repeat it one more time, but check the promo tab. Definitely worth capitalizing on. And sweet. Yeah, at least I get Chig Okonkwo here. Definitely would have been sad if I didn't get Chig, but having Jaden Daniels definitely sets this up. I'm happy with it. We can stop there. Chig, definitely a player I like. I know Jiri, friend of the channel, likes him. I know Huhames thinks he's one of the best tight end clicks on the board, if not the best, actually. Well, definitely for the value. There's a world where Okonkwo finishes higher than Kyle Pitts. Definitely in the cards for that to not be a lock, but definitely could happen. I wouldn't rule it out entirely. So very happy to get a stacked up Chig Okonkwo paired up with Jaden Daniels. That click was not in vain. Definitely a good pivot option at 65 to just grab a unstacked Jaden Daniels. The rushing value, the back stacks available, definitely a valuable pick. If you're on the clock, not sure what to do, just put Jaden Daniels top of the queue in round 6. Not going to be upset with that decision. Unless you already had Allen, then maybe it's a little overkill. But even Lamar, Jaden Daniels, not terrible. You got to stop with 2, not atrocious though. You can recover. A lot of money spent to get 2 quarterbacks, but you can recover. And then here I'm just going to get another stack ringo Antonio Williams Absolutely. I think this price on Antonio Williams a little bit inflated. Like, let's not guarantee he's worth it, but notable that Trey Harris just came off the board at 157 to the Herbert drafter, so didn't want to risk him making it back. And in that vein, let's stick with that. Just get your stack, get your guy. And yeah, who knows? Maybe Terry McLaurin gets injured again, and the rookie does pop. I liked Antonio Williams coming into the combine. I was actually drafting him a little bit in the pre-draft contest. I think I was sitting at roughly 9% Antonio Williams in the big board back when he did not have a team yet. I did take him a little bit, but do 4 puppies. Yeah. Yep. That's what it is. Captain Spock, I got Brooks in the 13th in a redraft league tonight. First redraft team of the year. Good for you, man. Definitely has the chance to be one of the best clicks on the board. You have to click on the promo button on mobile. Yeah, gotta check the mobile promo tab. Hit the start button. Of course, just sub to Hartman. Appreciate that, Wilson. Yeah, support the friends of the channel. Best Ball on Call. You know what? If anything, subscribe to Best Ball on Call as well. But I will also support you by absolutely validating your request. Let's rip it. If I took Alec Pierce, I could have afforded Andrews. Probably. But my running back room would look much different. We're going to get back in at running back with one more. So I like the Bigsby selection. I could go Tesla, but this was a weird lobby. Some of these teams did kind of pass on Goff unstacked. Maybe they just don't like the Lions. And Tesla's a weird pick. Tesla could fall quite a bit. So not going to force the stack. I'm going to take a running back I know won't circle back. Tesla does go to Rocco Jamaica. He's not a bad pick, but I'm very happy having Bigsby and just calling it done at 5 running backs. The way I built it definitely works out. And perhaps Andrews over Travis Hunter should have been the click. Because on paper, that's definitely a more valuable pick in theory. Interesting that Andrews fell to 149. The Lamar drafter did get him at 149. Damn. Good for him. Good for Sosky. I probably should have taken him. Bummer. But my receiver room still needs help. Definitely still needs some options. We don't mind Ted Hurst on this channel. We don't mind Jeremy. We don't mind Fryermuth. Darnell Mooney, though. I mean, weird vibes in the Giants offense, and let's take it as just a bad sign for Neighbors overall. And despite it being super crowded, when we had Huhames on the channel on Saturday, he was really raving that he liked the price on Mooney. Had the chance to really deliver. So given the discount, given the path for snaps and routes, definitely I get the argument. I've liked Mooney in the past, so I'll mix him in. We'll do that. But kind of weird vibes in the Giants offense today. A little bit. But good evening, DJ Quill. Yes, this is indeed a puppy. And check the chat. The mobile promo. Get to do 4 puppies, get 1 free. If anything, I'm gonna pin this comment by Wilson. There we go. All right, coming back around. I have 2 clicks left. I'm a little inclined to go with 9 wideouts, but that might be overkill a little bit. Let me get the the chat filter back up, though. Had to take it down for a sec. Okay, I'm back on the clock. Fryermuth is still there, and despite having McBride, I do still think that Fryermuth is one of the best clicks in this range, so I might just take him. I might just take the third tight end. I can definitely tolerate it. If I get Fryermuth at pick 200, I think I'm scooping him up. Yeah, it's just a really, really good price. And by taking Travis Hunter, we argue that despite the fall on Andrews, there's even better values later. And a bit of a luxury pick, but the 9th receiver is also in the luxury pick category. We have 2 good quarterbacks. I trust Goff to remain healthy, typically a very safe bet. Love his schedule, especially in the playoff weeks. It's really, really high upside every time. And then Jaden could be the QB1 potentially if he's required to run the ball a lot. And he doesn't have enough weapons to feel compelled. Like, he won't. I definitely think as long as Jaden is healthy, he could really, really scramble to victory. So a good value. I could take the 6th RB, but only 7 wideouts. I'm probably grabbing receiver. But there are no stacking partners, so perhaps it's not the most exciting thing. You know what? Yeah, instead maybe I pivot to running back. And in that case, you're telling me McCaffrey's handcuff is an 18th round pick? Yeah, I think so. The Kyle Shanahan backfield always has problems with injury. Let's go Jordan James as just a absolutely draftable player. I think that is something you can indeed say about Jordan James. Is he the best round 18 click? Perhaps not. Perhaps there is a scroll that is more exciting. Perhaps there was a receiver that could help me more. Maybe Tyreek Hill is going to be better. But at the moment, I think the fade on CMC getting hurt is, not a lock by any means, but good enough of a bet to where the leader in the clubhouse for RB2 being Jordan James is absolutely worth drafting. No doubt about it. I mean, Kalen Black goes 216. So both of them get taken in this one. Joey Buff at the 101 takes Kalen Black with the final click. So perhaps my receiver room not going to be good enough, but you know what? If we're going to pass on Andrews, it's because Travis Hunter is indeed fire. He has the Jaguars versus Commanders bring back, so that's the piece we need to win this contest. In Week 17, if we advance, Travis Hunter versus the Commanders, a really easy matchup, actually. Their secondary is dog shit. Marshawn Lattimore, a shell of his former self. So Travis Hunter is the missing piece. That's the argument on this team. McBride with 2 cheap tight ends, Okonkwo stacked, and then Fryermuth is just such a value. Fun, interesting team. In totality, Jaden and Goff, Hampton, Rico, Monangai, Brooks, Bigsby, and Jordan James. There is enough risk with Brooks, and even Monangai to a certain extent, that having 6 is not a bad bet. And when you only go 2 QBs, you have to have at least 1 luxury pick for the most part. So that's what we're going to do. Receiver, trusting that Amon-Ra, Ladd, and Devontae stay healthy, get the job done. Diggs going to be much more valuable than pick 128, I think. Same with Travis Hunter, still potentially a steal. And then Antonio Williams stacked up. Darnell Mooney could be the most targeted receiver in New York until Neighbors gets healthy. But McBride at pick 32, maybe that is the luxury pick, but at least one of these tight ends maybe doesn't have to be here critically in order to succeed. So Okonkwo, Fryermuth, maybe one of them should have been a receiver. But if you told me I had, let's say we swap out McBride on this team for Chris Olave. Just that. Like, literally, I just roll with Okonkwo and Fryermuth, and then we have Olave instead of McBride. I might like the team better. Like, this team is really fun, It's interesting, but I'm still not totally convinced that McBride is actually even worth pick 32. That is still not a guarantee to hit. He's probably worth scooping up there, but who knows? Maybe soon enough we'll see a Colston Loveland versus Trey McBride ADP switch coming soon. But all right, there's a few people in the chat here. We got Legend of Zelda, Sosky, Supso, and Rocco Jamaica. I need to catch up. What's up, Al Boogie? How we doing? Zero fucks, 25% chig. Beautiful. Check out Bayou Bengal, friend of the channel. How we doing? Thanks for joining us. Check out his channel and give him a subscription. He was on our stream a few weeks ago. We had a great time, especially talking about the Saints. What's up, Who Hames? How you doing? Subscribe to Who Hames as well. Give him a subscription over there. He's coming up on 1,000 subs. Was with us on Saturday when we hit 10K, and very good friend of the channel. Appreciate you popping in. Sorry I'm late. Who knows how long this message actually was waiting for me. But did someone say rip? You know it. P-Punch, how we doing? Thank you for being a member of the Blunt Rotation. What's up, Anthony? What you drafting? Just tuned in. We're drafting in the puppy tonight. Definitely the puppy all week long, probably, for the most part. I've lived Olave more than London the whole offseason, so no Puma. Is it crazy to like AJ Brown more than London now? I don't think so. I don't think it's insane. Not at all. Ready to do some drafting. AJ Brown is being a target. Shit, I'm so far behind. All right, I think I just got to skim it. What's up, Keith? How we doing, Ever in Flux? Yeah, Dark Horse bounce back here, potentially. Neighbors dead. Not fully, but probably not my favorite click top 30. I think I'd rather have McBride than Neighbors. Probably Olave as well over Neighbors. Yeah, indeed. Definitely. This is only the first draft so far. Looks like we're at 28 likes. If y'all can get me to... We have 50 watching. If we get to 40 likes, we will draft a third guaranteed. But we're drafting a second. You know it. I'm locked in on the challenge. Found out slows count as well. Oh, yeah. Even better if that is more your drift. Darnell wears number 1 for a reason. He is fragile. I will say I've loved Darnell Mooney for a while. I'm glad he's reunited with Matt Nagy. That's when I thought he had his best season. That's when I technically fell in love with him. You know, he was on my redraft team and he helped lead me into the playoffs. I think I might have won a championship with him. I'm not totally sure. I don't think that was the year in that league, but he led me to a playoff spot off the waiver wire. That will I will forever be grateful for that from Darnell Mooney. But what's up, Disbanded? Thank you for joining us. This was a strange experiment. Garendo just had surgery. Yeah, I don't fear Garendo at all. Like Mooney, but he played like a bitch. Yeah, he did not stay on the field at all. I don't think that's poorly said at all. It's so weird because he can top 20-25 receiver. He's motivated and healthy. I think he's had too many injuries. To be what we fully remember. But pick 185, it's worth the bet. He goes super, super late. And there isn't another Giants receiver drafted other than Neighbors above him, you know? Other than Likely and Neighbors, there's no other pass catcher we take in New York. Back with Nagy is a bit bullish. Pairing Hill with Patty, apparently. He is live in KC and will probably be able to play for weeks. Yeah, Tyreek with Mahomes is not a bad click. We can't all be superstars instead of McVay. Yeah, the Diggs pick's still valuable for sure. I'm still clicking it in that 11th round. I'm fine with it. If he's still there in the 12th, it's auto for me all day. How we doing? Come on, baby. Turn the lights off. Do slows count towards drafting? It sounds like it. Sounds that way. London has a high single game spike profile in theory, which I'll never fade on Underdog drafters. I'm out on Drake. He feels like he should be a 3rd round pick, not a 2nd. Can I convince you of the Chris Olave price? Loved it last year, but not sold on the higher ADP this year. The argument against it is really just your favor how much do you trust Jordan Tyson is really the question, I suppose. Is Jordan Tyson really going to pose enough of a problem where Olave's target share drastically comes down and is not the focal point of the offense? I don't think so. However, last year he played much better once Shaheed was out of the system, but that also correlated with Shuck taking over under center. So last year is a flash of what Olave can do. And for that reason, you have to evaluate players for upside, especially in best ball, and then tolerate risk if that ceiling is not going to hit. But he can definitely average over double-digit targets. He can be a true number one wideout. And a rookie typically doesn't overtake a guy like Olave, usually. So there is some concussion injury risk, but that's viable for every player. I'm not going to be talked off that ledge. I want the Kellen Moore offense. Their defense isn't good enough to prevent shootouts, and I do trust Kellen Moore, Tyler Shuck, and the Saints this year take a big leap. They have a great schedule. It's a fourth place schedule, and the offense really came alive. With Shuck last year, it's getting much, much better with Travis Achan and Jordan Tyson. Even if they bring his target share down a little bit, the offense entirely will be on the field longer. Drives will be sustained. They'll have more red zone opportunities, more touchdown chances. And for all those reasons, I still like Olave in the third. Dear streamer, please read this message within 60 seconds, or I'm sorry, Pepper Tony. I might be worse than Chris the Candyman. Maybe not that bad, but I'm up there in the halls of infamy on catching up with the chat in the first hour, especially of the stream, and especially in the first hour. Do you get a play button at 10K? If I do, I am unaware. I'm not expecting one. I definitely know you get one at 100K. But who knows? Maybe I'll be happily surprised. I'm not expecting one. I'll say that. What's up, Keith? Higher price on Olave, but with having more certainty that Kellen Moore is good. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very legit. Had 25 last year on 16 this year. I think that's fair. I don't want to be 20+% on a round three player like him, but I still want him probably more than 10%. Calvin Austin is a giant indeed. Yeah, their first signing of the offseason. Yeah, I mean, if they can get away with it without you noticing it, why not? But I'm happy to let y'all know. We pin the comment. Do 4 puppies get? You have to claim it though. You have to claim it. You need to hit start on the promo tab on mobile. Yeah, I have drafted a little bit of Calvin Austin. I'm at like 2% Calvin Austin. We're at 38 likes, 60 watchers. Appreciate y'all for hitting that like button. And yeah, we're definitely on pace for a third locked in. I think his value in the special teams game is probably the main reason, but he also showcased some spike week potential with Rodgers last year. There is some talent in terms of go routes and down the field. He's not an atrocious click, but don't want to be overweight. Calvin Austin. What's up, Young Moolah? How we doing? I'm going to scoop your Chargers from you tonight. I hope not, brother. At least in this one, I did get Hampton and Ladd. I did not get the Herbert stack, though. I did not do that. Is that what happened? I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know what mogged means. I legitimately don't know what mogged means. But damn, I killed Pepper Tony. Shit. Where was it? I'll miss you, brother. I'll miss you. All right. I think you've convinced me to actually click the Olave button now. I'm glad I could try. It's worth. I don't think you want to be out on Olave. Like you more now that you don't know what mogged means. Yeah, I genuinely am not sure what that means. now let's smoke this blunt. Yeah, my version of of George W. Bush on the driving range. Okay, I finally caught up with the chat. I wanted to do like a trumpet, like a unfortunately, uh, damn. Okay, let me review some teams very quickly. We had Legend of Zelda. Let me go through it. Caleb, Aaron Rodgers, Gino. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Good value down the stretch, especially if it's stacked up. Gibbs and Brees, very nice. Swift, Algier, and Emmanuel Wilson. The Brees stack is dope. Nico, Jalen Waddle, Metcalf is stacked. Myers, Wandale Robinson, Naylor, Jeremy, Adonai Mitchell, Harold Fannin, Jake Ferguson. You took an unstacked Caleb. I guess with Swift, it is indeed stacked up. Never mind. Not a bad click. Not a bad click at all. But I think I do prefer an unstacked Drake May just a little bit more. The Swift combo though is a stack. Never mind. My mistake. Yeah, there's really nothing to really complain about. The AD Mitchell click is not on my radar, but you do have Gino with Brees, so that's fine. Yeah, where the fuck is Komet? You could have maybe taken a third tight end if you really wanted to, but with Fan and Ferguson, I don't think that's necessary at all. Just a joke. Yeah, Gibbs, Hall, and Swift, no complaints, and then some legit stacks down the stretch. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, Sosky, we mentioned we liked that Andrews stack. Lamar, Jackson Dart on this one. Ramondre, Tony Pollard, Dobbins, JCM, Keaton Mitchell, Adam Randall. I did see Dobbins fall earlier today. I will say I think reaching on Dobbins might not be the move, so maybe just a bit of a desperation click. I don't think I would have taken Dobbins that early, personally. But CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, without Dak Prescott, and I think he fell. Did you just get sniped because somebody hates you? Yeah. I mean, you did push him for Tony Pollard. So, oh boy said, nope, not going to let you have it. Bummer. Would have loved to see Prescott instead of Dobbins. So, might have gotten flustered. Might have felt just compelled to hit RB. Very fair. Very fair click on Dobbins. But JCM, Keaton Mitchell, Adam Randall, some valuable backups. We got CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. Flowers is stacked. Higgins as number 4 is a bit tricky. Debo, Ryan Flournoy, Zachariah Branch. Yeah, receiver, perhaps a bit thin. Mine, you could also complain about, so I think it's worth pushing at times. But then Loveland, Andrews, and Gunnar Helm. I think the reason why I didn't take Andrews, despite the value, is because I felt like I would have been locked into stopping at 2 tight ends. And I really wanted to set up the Chigokonko stack. I really wanted the Chig stack. So, yeah. I don't know if Gunnar Helm was a necessary click with Loveland and Andrews. I think the receiver room is a bit tricky enough where I think I would have liked an 8th. But I was in a very similar situation. I also only went 7 receivers. So I definitely understand it. Wish you could have gotten Dak Prescott. But you did get the fall on Dart at pick 101. It is unstacked, but still a valuable fall nonetheless. 2 running quarterbacks could be great. Supso in here as well with a T-Law at 78. So he reached on Trevor Lawrence. Matthew Stafford at 115. That discount kind of negates it. But then Darnold at 150. Nice little 10-pick fall. Chase Brown, David Montgomery, Blake Corum, Jordan Mason, Sean Tucker. Corum went right after Monungai. So, yeah, you felt the pressure a little bit at running back. Kind of a similar build. And then Sean Tucker clicked. Very, very legit. He's been moving up the board very quickly as of late. So I've been scooping him up. I have like 19, 20%, maybe 22%, both Tucker and Gainwell, if my memory is correct. So love that click. Looks like it's getting more expensive now. JSN, Neighbors, Romadunze. JSN, I'm pretty sure is stacked up on this team. Yes, he is. Parker Washington stacked up. Michael Pittman, I like the value on him. Some sneaky wide receiver 1 potential in Pittsburgh. And then Trey Tucker on this team too. Is stopping at 6 worth it? I mean, the bet on neighbors, that's basically what this team kind of comes down to the more I look at it. But Kincaid at a discount, Stowers on this team, Ferguson and Dulcich. Tight end scares me, man. I think the 4 tight end build is not that exciting. And I have so much invested in Goddard, I'm really rooting against all the Stowers believers. So, yeah, I would have swapped out Stowers for a whiteout. I think that's what I would have done. But not every team gets the falls. Did you pass on Strange at one point? You passed on Strange for Darnold. Interesting. Yeah, the Kincaid random selection. I get it. He fell, but I think he deserves to keep falling a little bit. I think I'd rather have Andrews unstacked than Kincaid unstacked. That's personally how I feel about it, but I get it. I definitely get the Kincaid selection given the ADP, but it's a new contest. It dropped today. The ADP is very much in flux. The ADP is not something you should get too bogged down in. I think for the build, though, tight end 1 at a discount. Makes sense. All right. Rocco Jamaica, our last one. Then we're hopping into another puppy. Appreciate y'all for the patience. But we'll be live streaming for at least 3 hours, honestly, until 10:30 at the minimum. Tyler Shuck and Bryce Young, very thin. I wouldn't only go with those two, but let's see the rest of it. CMC, Ken Walker, Javante Scataboot. Nah, man, I think you had to stop at 4. Katron and Lloyd, I think, are kind of worthless here. Because if they do hit your lineup, it's at the expense of so much draft capital. You can't really afford to have multiple of these top 4 picks on the bench. So Katron, Marshawn Lloyd, I think a wasted click. That is my honest opinion. Tyson, Jaden Reed, Quentin Johnston, Xavier Worthy, Coker, Shaheed, Tesla, and Brazil. Legit receiver room, though. Tyler Warren, Juwan Johnson, very legit tight end room. I think at the expense of one of these receivers, probably Xavier Worthy. I think at the expense of Xavier Worthy, I would have just taken any of the quarterbacks. An unstacked Bo Nix there, I think saves the team. Because quarterback, I just don't think gets it done. Such a heavy commitment to Shuck and Tyson carrying you. Like, really? You trust Bryce Young and Coker that much? I don't really see it. If you get it done, man, I would love to see it. I would love to be wrong on that take, but I just don't trust those quarterbacks. I think passing on Bo Nix or really any of those 4 for Xavier Worthy, I would have loved to see that happen. And then Katron Allen, Marshawn Lloyd become, just 2 more receivers. That's what I would have done differently. Worthy for Nix, and then, a Pat Bryant, somebody to stack up super late. All right, that's going to be it. Let's hop into another puppy. I'll reunite with the chat while we're waiting, but I'll give you all a little countdown as well. And a reminder, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. It's pinned here. You can activate the promo on Underdog. It is exclusively in your mobile tab. Hit the gift box. The promo tab is where you'll find it. And Wilson's comment here is pinned for a reason. You do 4 puppies, you get 1 free. Have to start it on mobile. Get in because it's the first day of the contest. It will close tomorrow. I'm sure you sickos will be done with that tonight. But I'm going to draft my 4th puppy. I will qualify for that free one right after this. So make sure you capitalize, and we'll be joining a puppy in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. If you've noticed, I've started to count down a little quicker. I don't give it another fucking pick 8. God damn it. Oh, bullshit. Fucking bull. I've shown this has been the bane of my existence. this entire draft cycle. I get pick 8 every fucking time, and I can't just take Amon Ra all day long. I have to mix it up. I have to get different. Yo, we got Jiri football in here. We got Hoodie D in here. I saw you in the chat very briefly as I was pivoting away, but yes, it is your boy. We are absolutely endorsing your boy. It's not that I don't like Brian Thomas, but it's not at the expense of Parker Washington. I think both of them are excellent clicks. What's good, Jiri? Sad to see you not advance in this So You Think You Can Tout competition, but I think you took the L very humbly. Enjoyed your post appearance interview earlier with Pete. Definitely stuck around, watch that. You had a great stream with Goofy earlier today. And if people aren't aware, Jiri's a friend of the channel, has been on multiple times. I've been on his channel a few times, and he knows ball. Great drafter, great live streamer. Definitely give Jiri Football your subscription. Check him out if you haven't done so already. Good friend of the channel. I mean, if JSN somehow makes it to me, that'd be cool, but not expecting it. And Amon Ra goes. All right, so we're gonna pivot. Let's take Genty. Let's go running back. Man, what he could be if he really has a breakout season. I think it's worth being a year early on Genty. Wow, Sosky goes Hampton. I was hopeful to get a Genty Hampton start at pick 8 and 17. So the contest dropping today makes this a more of a wild card scenario. You can get different. You know, you can really disregard some of the previous ADP if you want to. I think you are permitted to mix it up and just trust your gut. I've definitely taken Hampton in the first a bunch of times, so love to see it, Sosky. We got Soupso in here again. Goes Cook and Walker. Sosky at the pick 10. He took Hampton. He'll be on the clock in a second. Next to me is Manibu, who took the fall on Taylor, but not sure if he's watching or just in the lobby by chance. Egg White does take CeeDee Lamb and Jefferson. Possibly a unique combo. Good for him, but going to be tough perhaps to fill in running back without some reaches perhaps. Could get away with it though. Definitely could still get away with it. I'm back on the clock though, and interesting. I mean, maybe I can revive him. Pepper Tony, it's for you. Oh shit, no, I needed to pull him up, didn't I? Please, Pepper Tony. This is my version of an EKG. I'm drafting Achan. Pepper Tony, please. Please come back. Don't die. Don't die. You're my boy, Blue. I'll eat a gummy in Pepper's honor. If anything, I should take a rip in Pepper Tony's honor again. Achan and a rip. Can it revive Pepper Tony from the depths, the shallow depths? Where's my grinder? There we go. A pinch of fresh indica for our boy Pepper Tony. Yo, Jerry's even smoking. Spark it, brother. Let's go. I wish I started the puppy promo before drafting with Goofy on stream earlier. I'm sure you can probably get into 4 by the end of tomorrow. I'm sure you can probably find the time on tomorrow's stream if you have to. But yeah, definitely a valuable thing to do. Sooner than later. I know. I know. I'm worried. It was a big responsibility, you know. Like he raised the stakes. That was on him. He put his life on the line, and I let him down. I let down our boy. I'm not gonna take Neighbors. I'm gonna leave it alone. We'll take Devontae. Who Hames coming on stream tomorrow night? That's lit. Yo, make sure y'all check that out. That's gonna be a fun stream. Definitely going to make sure I'm in the chat for that one. Hopefully, I can hop into a draft. But I also want to shout out Jedi Niner at the 102, and I'm also pretty sure Troubadour Man is potentially watching. I got the hiccups. Definitely have drafted before with Troubadour Man. Yeah, I'm excited for the both of you. That should be an awesome stream. Subscribe to Who Hames, subscribe to Jiri. Awesome content over there. Josh Allen in the second round in ours at pick 17. That's crazy. Allen has officially made it to the fourth round. Will Supso pair him up with James Cook is the question. He will. I think that was the right call. I think that was the right move from Supso. Bowers 17 earlier. Goofy Chicken, also a friend of the channel. Definitely subscribe to Goofy Chicken. Yeah. I think it was a great opportunity, and I think you killed your initial entries. But once you get down to the Sweet 16, you know, everyone's putting their game on the line. Everyone's really delivering. The bar is very high. So enjoyed your appearance there on the competition. Definitely was rooting for him as well. Pull up Genty to send a message to the room. Don't ask what that message is. As a Charger fan, I still think it's viable to pull up Genty. The reason I'm willing to do it, I'm also willing to pull up Hampton. Am I Wilson or Igbuka? That's a good question, actually. I'm definitely. I think I'm Igbuka, but I will say the Trent McDuffie matchup week 17, the more you think about it, could be tough, especially with the Myles Garrett signing. The Rams defense might be a really bad one. Maybe the Rams Buccaneers game on Sunday Night Football. Maybe, just maybe, that's a brutal spot for Egbuka, perhaps. I don't think so. I think at the very least there'll be some garbage time available for him. I'm not going to fade it too much, but yeah, on paper today the Rams defense got much tougher for opposing offenses. Wicks and elite blocker. Jedi in here at 2. Okay, sweet. Okay. He's alive. We got your boy. We got your boy with Genty. I did not pull him up though. He did fall to me. He did fall. Sean Payton loves Dobbins. I mean, he loves him until he inevitably tears his ACL again. Supso really likes Stowers. I think he's the AJ replacement. I have not made that bet. That's for sure. I've definitely been pro Goddard, 100%. Andrews all day. Bothered he called you Jerry. Here's the thing. Jerry isn't even his first name. His first name is Derek. If you know, you know. The real ones know. And our boy Derek Jerry knows his shit. I will just trust in DJ Moore. I'm not gonna let the Allen drafter at the bookend. Sorry, Soups. But I think DJ Moore at 56 is a very good click. So I'm just gonna scoop him up. I also have the Dolphins Bills bring back, so I'm chill with that. I think DJ Moore at 56 is a good click, whether stacked or not. Like that Myles Garrett leaving Cleveland should reshape how Browns games go overall. Yeah, there's the chance that they are like so far behind, you know, that it just kicks their garbage time into high gear. Maybe they're going to be just as interesting as the Jets, because the Jets lost all of that, you know, elite defense talk, which never really was the case once Robert Saleh left. Definitely don't worry about the Jets defense keeping games in weird game scripts. So maybe the Browns are interesting. I mean, Jared Verse is still pretty good though, but the defensive coordinator situation has been completely revamped and much different coaching staff all around. I don't trust the Browns defense to be anywhere close to what it was with Myles Garrett. even with Jared Verse. I think that's just like a true game wrecker type of talent. And I don't fault the Rams at all for going all in. Stowers had 3-inch and 30 plus pounds on Wicks. Stowers also worked very hard on his blocking at Vandy. I mean, I believe in Stowers long term. I just think rookie tight ends can really underperform when you put massive expectations on them. They can also be great. They can definitely deliver, but they can also underperform. That's definitely also possible. Maybe, yo, why don't I see him? Where the fuck is Parker? Oh, okay, he was actually drafted in this one. He was actually drafted. Okay, I was like, why can't I see him for the second time in a row? He was off the board this time. But Jordan Tyson at pick 65. I could have definitely taken Jaden Daniels. The team with Flowers and Terry has both of them. Good for you, underdogs. I just took him, so going to mix it up. Going to get a little different than the last draft. Zero says that's fair. Tyler Warren can also split out wide. I think a tight end filling a true X wide receiver role would be hard to imagine, though. I still think Tyler Warren is probably going to be the number one target on the team. I think it'll be very close, but I think Tyler Warren is the better click as opposed to Alec Pierce. Now, structurally, if you need a receiver, there's not that many I like in this range of the draft following Alec Pierce. So he's a fine click vis-a-vis his peers, but I think structurally and just like for the sake of the flex value, I think I'd rather just have Tyler Warren in the 6th round. Always been Stowers. Seems like a lot of people believe in it. I'm willing to go against the grain and want to see it with the rookie tight end. The Rams defense is fucking impenetrable. Just imagine if they coax Aaron. I know. If Aaron Donald comes out of retirement, watch the fuck out. Super Bowl is in LA after all. Damn, what a team to not have a Chicago Bear. Am I really just going to give him to the Roma Dunze drafter? I don't think so. Caleb goes, takes it out of my hands. Gonna take Tucker Kraft. Quarterback is a weird position in this one. And while I'm not going to wait forever, I'm going to get a good tight end on this one. A-Rod timed out on Caleb. Bummer. You know, Jerry, had you not taken Lemon, I wouldn't blame you, but you couldn't just let me have Hurts at pick 80. Can't just let me have him at a discount. But all right, will A-Rod pay the price? That's a tough one. That's a bummer. Sorry to laugh a little bit, but that's a bummer. No doubt about it. That's kind of tough. Question is, what do I do here? Oh, no worries. Hurts in the 7th is a good click. Worthy goes at 88. Damn, I kind of wanted to take Mahomes there and get the backstack shit. All right, then. I'm gonna commit to what I think will happen. I'm gonna stay off a quarterback one more round. I still have some options here. So the luxury of taking Tyson, Egbuka, and Addison, and even Kraft. I'm a hope for the best. But an interesting dynamic here at the quarterback position because the team at 6 definitely probably wasn't planning to go three quarterbacks, but once you remove two of these three from being the number one on other teams, quarterback is a weird market. Ooh, wow. The team at one just took Wilson and Laporta. I think he might have fucked up by not taking Goff. I think the team at one might have just made a big mistake. But the Amon Ra drafter is the only other Lions team. That's the team with three quarterbacks. So, okay, this thing could get interesting. But one of my favorite clicks, definitely set up by the Addison selection. I'm just going to take Kyler here, and then we'll see what happens on the way back. But not going to let the Jefferson drafter have two cracks at Kyler. I think Kyler is the most valuable quarterback left on the board. So happy with that. Happy with the Kyler Addison team. We didn't get the Hurts fall. We passed on him for Tyson. It is what it is. I still have 3 stacking partners, though, for the next round. Love was taken, though. Love is one of them, so Love is off the board. Didn't want to let the Jaden Reed drafter get ahead of him, or the Christian Watson drafter. He stacks him with Josh Jacobs, though. That's a little odd. Now, I am kind of high on Jordan Love compared to some of his production last couple years. I still think he is a viable, decent click, but unstacked, or at least with Jacobs, kind of a tougher argument. Just a little bit. But the reach on Worthy with that team also kind of interesting. Goff goes to Egg White at 110. Shuck off the board, unfortunately, but it's okay. I'm gonna get Baker to circle back, and yeah, I had a lot of options. No need to panic. Knowing the board and knowing the stacks I had is why I played it the way I did. We had 4 quarterback options at the 9-10 turn, so not getting Hurts, no problem whatsoever. Taking DJ Moore unstacked. At that point, we didn't have all the stacking partners, but definitely kind of. Once I took Tyson, it was like brewing. I was like, all right, we got Baker as an option. We have Shuck as an option. And then we had Love and Kyler as well. So I think I made it out of that. Wow, Team 1 is just sending it. All right, I think Team 1 is possibly cooked. Possibly, but who the fuck knows? This is a weird lobby today at quarterback. Very odd. 2 teams through 11 rounds still don't have a single quarterback. And then just like weird weird dynamics with everyone else. All right, coming back on the clock though. Boy, come on, A-Rod. You need a receiver. Let me have Jordan Mason. I don't take Mason too often, but damn it. Damn it. Fuck. Bummer. Shit. I don't really know. Fuck. I think I have to go Tracy. Shit. Oh. Not as ideal. Not as fun. But I only have Genty and Achan so far. Willing to trust those two, but maybe the Kraft selection wasn't it. you're good, bro. It's probably the correct click completely. Yeah, but Hoodie takes Stafford away from those 2 teams, kind of punishing team 1 and 3 a little bit. So it's kind of cool to know that team 1 and 3 usually set up for a big advantage just because of how the draft is set up to get one of those truly elite weapons. The Gibbs drafter, the Pickens drafter, both of them feel like they're in a very, very tough spot in this one, given the weight. Maybe they get bailed out. Maybe it'll be all right. Would have loved to see Soups, the only one QB team, grab one there, but he decides against it. All fair. That's all right. And I might have a chance to make up for what happened on the last one. Yeah, we get to take Andrews. Unstacked, but still pick 137. Very happy with that. And I can probably call it done with those two tight ends. Kraft and Andrews, I think, are fine to stop there. Question is, will I take a third quarterback on this team? Probably. What about them making Wicks a priority trade target with the new OC coming from the Packers? Did they trade really that much for him? I mean, also like a $12 million isn't nothing, but it's also not as much as like we really think sometimes. Like 12 million isn't that much different than like what Darnell Mooney got last 2 seasons in Atlanta. He didn't quite pan out. Uh, Gabe Davis got that as well. That never panned out. Um, Free agents are never locks to work out. Free agents never have anything guaranteed. I'm definitely not taking Hollywood. That's for sure. Yeah, the AJ Brown power vacuum, if that's how we want to refer to it, should be very interesting. Obviously, Devontae Smith should crush, but I still believe in Dallas Goedert at a pretty high rate. Might be on a bit of an island on that one, but uh, I mean, somebody just took him in the 120s in the previous one. I'll do that. I need some running back depth throughout this draft, so I'm probably going to end with 6. And I do think the Lions are just a good team to bet on in general. So maybe Pacheco has a bit more of a David Montgomery type of role than some people expect. Maybe his value down here is actually pretty legit. But obviously, some big injury problems for him in recent history. Kind of looked washed, and there is still a chance they bring in somebody else to compete with him because I'm not sure he's just like locked in as the RB2. But Pacheco, at least from a handcuff argument, if that's all you kind of believe in the Detroit backfield, if Gibbs goes down, Pacheco's hyper valuable. The Lions RB1 would be definitely in your lineup the week that he's playing. So Pacheco at 152, I'm fine with it. All's fair at 152. But coming back on the clock, Trey Tucker's not a bad click. My running back room is a little tight, however. I'm actually going to go Brian Robinson. I'm genuinely still Brian Robinson over Trey Tucker. I don't quite know what to make of the Vegas receiver room. I'm kind of playing it, still assuming that Diggs probably goes there, and they still bring in a free agent. So I've been a bit reluctant to click some of these later Vegas Raiders. At the moment, they do look viable, but the way the ADP goes, I don't think the market even believes that they're going to survive free agency without someone like Diggs or Debo coming to town. So I am not afraid to pass on Trey Tucker. Structurally, getting another running back, definitely not the end of the world. Just like Pacheco, if Bijan goes down, then Brian Robinson will be an elite play in that offense. The Kevin Stefanski running back, always valuable. But just from a Falcons evaluation, Brian Robinson is the 4th Falcon off the board. That is typically a player going much higher when you factor in the skill position players on different teams. Usually the 4th on an offense like the Falcons would be going higher. So I still see a role for him. I don't think he's just exclusively a handcuff. Not projecting 8 touchdowns for him like Algier scored last season, but I do like the situation, and the overall contingent bet is already worth this pick in my opinion. But then just from a usage standpoint, he might have a bit more week to week value than the average handcuff this late. Like week to week, I expect more touches for Brian Robinson than Tank Bigsby, assuming both Saquon and Bijan are healthy. So that's why in my ranks, I love Bigsby, but I will take Brian Robinson above him. Coming back on the clock, good time to get back in at receiver. I'm going to go Trey Harris. I have a shit ton of Trey Harris, but I like my receiving core. I kind of ignored it for a minute. And one guy who, if he does break out, will absolutely crush this ADP is Trey Harris. Definitely the Chargers are planning to give him a big role upgrade. There's 120 targets that went to Keenan Allen last year, which are up for grabs. This offense probably going to be even better and definitely more touchdowns up for grabs as well. I like the Trey Harris click, whether stacked or unstacked, all day. Trey Tucker is one of the few players to ever score 40 plus points. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. I'm not expecting it to happen again. It's possible he has another massive spike week. I want to give him his credit for that, but it's also not a guarantee to happen again. Pick 185. If I want another quarterback, I can do it. Maybe I should have gone with Garrett Wilson earlier, but I took Egbuka, and Egbuka's stacked up as well. I'm going to grab Geno Smith, and I'm going to prevent the team at the bookend and those teams that are weak at quarterback from getting the last like viable option. Now that Rodgers is officially in like the 14th round, pick 160 in this lobby, often seen him go in the 150s as well. I'm willing to now officially start taking Geno Smith because now he's cheaper. The cost is less. And while I'm kind of out in general on the Jets, I'm willing to mix him in because we didn't spend too much on quarterback. We waited until round 9 and 10 to take our first ones, and then quarterback has been a weird position in this lobby. So getting the value, one of the last quarterbacks that you can project for a decent amount of starts with Geno here. And then I was also one of the last teams to get a good starter as my QB1 with Kyler Murray. Everybody else kind of took one before me. So I got the value. I'm in a similar camp as teams 1 and 3. I waited on quarterback, but I didn't wait too long. I still got really good options. If you ask me, I got 2 value picks at QB, and they're both stacked. That's also great. I could have gone Ted Hurst for sure with that last pick. That is also stacked, but let's just trust Egbuka today, not go overboard. We don't make our boy Jiri football happy. Derek doesn't have Otten on his team. Actually, no. Kate Otten is on Jiri's team. I would have had to snipe him if I wanted him. Kate Otten, his boy, off the board already. Here's the thing. Everyone's telling me to take Stowers, but I don't think I really want a third receiver. We took Mooney in the last one. Let's go Malachi Fields instead. You know, Malachi Fields, interesting prospect, big body, bulky receiver. I believe he's 6'4". Not many players with that type of frame on the team. And if you're worried about neighbors, why the fuck not? This is like a Giants fade type of roster. I got Tyrone Tracy on this one, so a fade on Scattaboo, and then I also have Malachi Fields, a fade on Malik Neighbors. I don't have Jackson Dart, but it's not the end of the world. Not bad at all. This is a fun team. I think this team is really interesting. Genty Achan, not a bad combo to start off. Devontae Egbuka, DJ Moore, Jordan Tyson. The Kraft and Andrews tight end combo feels very, very solid. They have different buys, so definitely stopping with those two. Addison with Kyler, Baker with Egbuka. Maybe the Pacheco B-Rob clicks aren't like the best in the world, but valuable handcuffs, a lot of contingent upside for sure. Think I'm going to grab a running back with this last click. We could go Jordan James again, but also like to mix in Adam Randall. And I think today that's speaking to me. I'm going to go Adam Randall, another interesting handcuff. The age on Derrick Henry, I'm willing to trust him. I still believe in him to stay healthy, but definitely one of the more bigger red flags in terms of age concerns at the position. But Derrick Henry, just such a beast, probably is okay. Probably all right. But all right. I will review my team after we take a hit. We're done with the draft, so let's fire it up, shall we? Let's go. Yo, just checked the live stream. We have 76 current watchers at the moment. Thank y'all so much for joining us. If you haven't seen it, there is a free puppy promo going on. Whether you're a new customer or not, check your Underdog app in the promo tab. Scroll down, you'll see the Puppy 2 challenge. You have to hit start. You have to join the challenge. You have to actively participate. But you draft 4 puppies, you get 1 free, and that's definitely something you want to capitalize on. So go ahead, check it out in your Underdog mobile app. And if you are a new customer, if you're not on Underdog yet, use promo code BLUNT on sign up. You get an extra $50 in bonus entries. So you can play your first puppy, get $50, play your 4th puppy, and get an extra one for free. So check that out. Definitely worth capitalizing on. It will close tomorrow at midnight on the East Coast. So check that out. There's also a up to $1,000 deposit match if you sign up with promo code BLUNT. That's available to new customers. Terms apply. The link is in the description. But 80 watching now. Holy shit. 57 likes. If y'all can get me up to 70 likes before the end of the video, I would be ecstatic. We are 100% drafting a 3rd one, and we are definitely not done. I'm going to turn off my air conditioner. I'll come back and review my team in totality. Then we'll review the other teams in this lobby that haven't been reviewed yet. And then we'll draft one more. Yeah, good stream tonight. Appreciate everyone. 81 viewers. Feels awesome. Really, it feels awesome. All right, let's check out our team. What up, Vitrano? How we doing? It's officially June. We are ready for football this early. So I had pick 8 again. We go with Kyler stacked up, Baker stacked up, Geno unstacked, but who cares? Just an advanced piece. It is still technically a tough final to make. So give me the extra bullet in the chamber with Geno Smith to get it out of this pod. Ashton Genty and Achane up top. Let's just trust that they stay healthy. Those are the guys I need. And then maybe we get lucky with some of these backups. Tracy should have some value. Maybe Scattaboo doesn't quite stay on the field. Pacheco, though, the Lions, good offense. The Falcons, also good offense, valuable with B-Rob. And then Adam Randall profiles to not just be a good backup for Henry, but also could get on the field. A very talented pass catcher, underrated in that aspect. He's also a beast. He is a big man, tough to tackle. Adam Randall, if he gets rolling downhill, I'd probably make a business decision. That's the reason why I'm not a pro football player. Devontae Smith, Egbuka, DJ Moore, Jordan Tyson, Addison. We got 2 stacks with Egbuka and Addison, and then the top 5 feel very competitive. I like the receiver room a lot. Trey Harris with the breakout potential, Malachi Fields, our rookie bet for upside. But Kraft and Andrews, both unstacked, but I don't think you need every single position stacked. I think I can get away with it with just Egbuka and Addison. So I'm happy with the team. The 3-6-7-2, not too shabby. Running back, though, a little tricky, but trusting Genty and Achane hopefully gets it done. We were in with Supso, but he was already reviewed last time. Same with Sosky, so apologies. I think I'm going to skip you. Last I checked, y'all are not members, so a second team review, I think, is for the sake of time and everything. I'm gonna skip out on the second one. Hope you can understand. We got underdogs in here. A-Rod getting a review. Hoodie D, our friend Jiri in here, also getting a review. And then Jedi Niner, definitely getting a review. And if Troubadour is watching, let me know. I'll take a look. But we got 3 team reviews and then our next puppy. Let's take a look. We'll start with Jedi Niner, Jedi Loco. He has Bo Nix, Patrick Mahomes, good enough to stop at 2. I don't mind that. Mahomes, a very good value at pick 98. Definitely a good click with Mahomes. Bijan Jeremiah, David Montgomery, pretty strong start at RB. Woody Marks and Mike Washington. Fading the backups. I'm not a big fan of Woody Marks, but our boy Jiri does think he's a good, valuable option. You have both Texans. So if Montgomery goes down, Woody will get the touches to hopefully carry you. But ideally, for the price at 143, he's not my favorite handcuff to double up. You know, you're getting a 0 out of 1 every week, most likely. But good luck at running back. You also have Chris Olave at 26. You pulled him up a little bit. Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton, Romeo Dobbs. So Sutton is stacked up. Kelsey is stacked up. But Juwan Jennings as the 5th, a little tricky to trust. The little fall on Antonio Williams, pretty decent scoop. And then Mooney and Tyreek Hill. Not bad. Tyreek Hill for that potential Mahomes combo. Not bad at all, especially 215. I've definitely done it. Now that he's around 18, especially if I have Mahomes, I'll mix in a Tyreek Hill. But who knows? You do have Tyler Warren, Kelsey, and TJ Hawkinson. So perhaps Hawkinson was a luxury pick. I might have liked Hawkinson to be a running back. I think that's the only thing I might have tweaked. Either that or a third quarterback. With Warren and Kelsey, I think you can get away with just those 2. Hawkinson, I think, could be really washed and not very valuable. Kyler doesn't throw touchdowns to the tight end position. At least he didn't with Trey McBride. We mentioned Hoodie, D, and Underdog. Let's move on to Jiri's team. He has Jalen Hurts with Mekhi Lemon. Very legit stack. Also has the Purdy bring back. Also took Stafford at 117. Just scooped up the value. He is stacked up with Puka Nacua. Very, very good quarterback room. Very legit. Is Purdy stacked up? Yes, with Pearsall. And that's it. That's fine, though. Running back room has Brees, Travion, Rashad White, Tyler Algier, my boy Tank Bigsby, and Jordan James. Very legit running back room indeed. Very legit strategy. Similar to mine. Honestly, very similar. At least your RB3 is a little bit better. But maybe my top 2 running backs are much better than yours. So a bit similar. Yeah, the 3-6-7-2 also is what Jerry went with. But Puka, London, Mekhi Lemon, Ricky P, Omar Cooper, Jalen McMillan, and Zachariah Branch. Very legit clicks. McMillan unstacked, though. I usually pass on, let him fall a little bit. If I'm going to go unstack Tampa, I usually go Ted Hurst a little bit more often. But McMillan's still really good. I definitely take him a decent amount. But I think he can still fall into the 160s, possibly. The gap between him and Hurst might close over the course of the summer, but a fine click. No complaints. Loveland, always valuable. Didn't overcommit to the position. Have Terrence Ferguson, number 2, and that is stacked up. Very nice. Very, very well-built team. Perhaps some tricky bets with the receiver depth, but the anchor top 2, definitely no complaints. And then Lemon is stacked up. The bring back, all of it is correlated. Smart, well-crafted team. Jiri knows what he's doing. A reminder, shout out Jiri Football, friend of the channel. Give him a subscription on his channel. He is coming up on 300 subscribers if he hasn't already surpassed it. Last I checked, he's very close. So he will be going live for 300 minutes when he hits it, and that'll be a very fun live stream when it happens. So check him out. He was in this lobby and definitely a tough team to beat. Definitely live to advance with that. Good luck with the injury situation, and hopefully everyone stays healthy. But let me bring in the Jedi Loco. You are a member of the Blunt Rotation, sir. Welcome in. Appreciate you joining the channel very much. appreciated. All right, so Underdog, A-Rod took Lamar, took Jaden. They were both stacked. It seemed like it was all planned, but then he was autoed Caleb Williams, and I'm sure that was a bit of a gut punch because the value on Caleb, I would have taken him. I had the next pick. I kind of wanted him, but Caleb at 79 as the third quarterback, that's a lot to spend, especially unstacked. Let's see how it works out, though. Chase Brown, Kyle Monangai, so does get a Chicago Bear at the very least. Not the best stack, though. JCM, Jordan Mason, Zach Charbonnet. Damn. Okay, that's a tricky RB room. These guys, one of them better fucking hit, and there's a chance that you are a bit thin from week to week. But a viable room, I think you can get away with it in theory, but it's not the best. Let's be honest. It's not quite the best. But Amon-Ra, Zay Flowers, Terry McLaurin, both of those guys are stacked up. Rashid Shaheed is the number 4. Trey Tucker, 6 spots past ADP. You got Ted Hurst on the team as well. Elijah Surratt and Dontavian Wicks. Yeah, I think you needed 8. Man, imagine if Caleb was another receiver or a running back, you know, how this team could have been different. But Kyle Pitts, Chigokonko, legit room for sure. It's just kind of a matter of, will the receiver depth be needed / good enough if it is, and then can one of these running backs pop and just get you to Charbonnet coming back on the field. So very risky. The running back room is a bit tricky. Not in love with the JCM Mason trust on this team, but Chase Brown can definitely carry you quite a while. You're not out of the woods. Definitely, it could make it, but it's an uphill battle because of the Caleb Williams auto click. That's for sure. All right, I think we're gonna move on. Thank you, Jedi, for the Memby. Let me hop into our next puppy. Definitely worth hopping in. We got 65 likes. Y'all are fucking dope. That is awesome. All right. Get in while you can. Make sure you activate that promo beforehand. Whether you're in this lobby or not, you definitely want that free puppy if you can get it. I'm going to join the puppy in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Instafill. Y'all are on it, and we pull the 102. Soups knows the rhythm. Knows how to get in here. We got a green badge in here. Zero Fucks has joined the lobby. We got one. Congratulations, Zero. Congratulations. I imagine every single lobby you enter, you're just like, all right. Who wants to fuck around? Very intimidating with the green badge. But we also have Binks in here again. So maybe Binks is watching. Yo, Binks, if you're watching, drop a comment, hit the subscribe button, let me know. But you pulled the 101 just next to me. Congrats. Good luck. I'm at the 102, so either Bijan or Gibbs on this team. Definitely, you know it. Glad to be out of pick 8 prison. And then Soups at the 103, Swanee at the 104. Not sure if you're watching. Res Dog, think I recognize Res Dog, but C Cotton 99, not sure about him. Jackson Duffy in at the 107. Jedi Niner in here again. Philly Brigade, not sure I recognize Philly Brigade, but I'm on the clock, no doubt about it. Give ya boy, Jahmyr Gibbs. Sweet. Julius in here at the 105. You are Res Dog, indeed. Yeah, I had a feeling that is Julius in there at the 105. Did you watch Survivor? Do you have anything to say about Riz God making it to the final 4? But maybe you don't watch Survivor at all. We got Steven Marker in at the 109. That's Philly Brigade. Thank you for letting me know. Jackson Duffy, definitely recognize you. Zero, as soon as I saw you, definitely knew it was you. Thank you for letting me know. Super Beast in here. Keith the Big Shooter. I'm a 3rd degree black belt on timing it now. Yeah, you know the moment. 0, and then Bry dollar sign, or maybe Bree dollar sign, pick 12 in here as well. So only 2 drafters in here with a stronger addiction, a different colored badge than I have. I'm still under 2K drafts. I'm still technically maybe not the most experienced in terms of volume on the website, but 1K, I've already drafted 200 since February this year. I'm on my way. I'm on my way to hitting that second badge. I guess the third badge. The black one is the first. The red one is already the second. Hoping to see Komet on this one. I hope someone can do you proud. I don't think I'm gonna do it. But what's the next draft gonna be? We're only drafting puppies tonight, Christian. Sorry if I didn't let you know early enough, but yeah. Soups let you know. Wish you could have gotten in here with us, Christian. I'm sure we will meet again another time. But West Coast represent. Yeah, 9 p.m. We're officially tomorrow on the East Coast. Officially June 2nd on the East Coast. Haven't smoked weed in so long. What's it like? It's a pleasure. I still think it's a pleasure. At times it does make me tired. I think I'm just getting older, but still quite a pleasure. If anything, let me remind myself and give you my full take on what's it like. Smooth, not too abrasive, definitely allows you to sink in. But AJ Brown at pick 20, I was kind of thinking maybe I take him on this team, but I am on the clock. Pickens available. I've noticed my Pickens in ADP, my exposure to Pickens. Yeah, that's the right word. My exposure to Pickens is actually very, very thin at the moment. Much thinner than I think it should be. If you're healthy, weed will just amplify whatever mood you're in. If you're healthy, that is definitely the case. I have almost 30% Brian Robinson. I'm right there with you. I'm definitely like around 25%. If I last I checked, I think it's around 26%. I'm just going to have strong running backs, and with the fall on Jacobs, I'm just going to feel more confident in my trusting Travis Achan. I will just take him in the third all day long. Tampa Bay, LA, week 17. That should be an interesting, fun matchup. But thank you, Jerry, for drafting with us. Hope you have a great night, Derek. And check him out on his live stream tomorrow with Who Hames. That's going to be lit. Definitely. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to hit the notify me button. I'm not going to miss that one. Two Mules says too much can of butter can lower your blood pressure to where you're so relaxed you end up getting a ride to the emergency, deal with a stroke. Edibles can be tricky. Edibles, you got to be careful. Smoking is much, much different than ingesting weed. When it's processed by your stomach, processed by your liver as well, when it's processed by your, colon, your digestive system, as opposed to your lungs, it can be 5 times more potent. From what I've heard, the psychoactive component of THC is definitely ramped up. So you got to be careful with edibles, no doubt. C. Klein, I think he has 0 Brian Robinson. I think he might be missing out from the handcuff standpoint. He's one of the best, in my opinion. Maybe not the best, but one of the top 5 or 6, if I would say. The Kevin Stefanski running back is always really good. Triple elite QB, honestly, looking at the other positions, it could be worse. Yeah, of all the positions to auto in that spot, definitely not the end of the world. I don't blame him. But, I don't think it was planned. I don't think it just kind of fell into his lap, and it is what it is. Hit him with the gritty. Would love it. Definitely need another RB. Yeah, could have been useful for sure. Glad there's another puppy. The palm was trash. Yeah, glad that the palm is Fading away. I'm not drafting. Another Palm. Joined a BBM and got Gibbs at pick 2 as well, my brother. Good job, Jerry. Definitely feels nice. We drafted 3 BBMs last night, so tonight we are exclusively ripping puppies. I definitely don't draft as many BBMs as Jiri. Jiri almost always drafts a Best Ball Mania on his drafts, on his streams. It's pretty dope. It's from dailies. Yeah, dailies you can definitely crack. Massive volume. A lot of people lurking these days. That's for sure. Jackson says Rizgod deserved to win. Too bad for the Fire. At least he deserved to not have that spoiled by Jeff. I did not watch season 49, so not sure how endearing he was. Or for him to make it back, though, I'm sure he earned it. But I don't take Colston Loveland too often, but I'm definitely willing to do it. We get the Bears-Lions bring back Loveland against Gibbs. That could be really fun. That could be a really lit game for sure. JMO at pick 48. Rome there at 49. I wanted to take Rome, honestly. That's genuinely what I wanted to do. So kind of a bummer. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm not sure how long this contest is going to be open. So maybe I'm not going to be the most unique drafter in this regard. But Cardinal Tate is someone I'm willing to maybe plant my flag on a little bit with maybe a bit more confidence. And the thing about Tate, he is exclusively going at the other turn. Like, nobody ever takes Tate at 50. I'm the only one dumb enough to pull him up that I've seen in a minute. Maybe I've seen it once or twice. You know, I'm not going to say I'm the only fucking person willing to do it. But I think he could still deliver on a bigger return than this. The reports are that he crushed camp last week, and he looks awesome. And I believe in Cam Ward and his development. So I'm going to get different. Might not be the right move, but Gibbs is never going on the right side of the board. Cardinal Tate almost exclusively goes on the right side of the board. And I think there's a world he does outperform Jalen Waddle. I think he can definitely have more yards than Devontae Adams this year. Probably not touchdowns. So I think clicking Adams above him is probably still the right move. But I'm getting different. I'm getting a little bit more unique. And the Cam Ward combo is not that difficult to acquire. It's usually pretty affordable. I definitely take him quite often. So I've been wanting to get more Cam Ward with Cam Ward. I want more Cardinal Tate with Cam Ward. Excuse me. But I definitely feel like Cardinal Tate is a very legit 5th round pick. And I got to wait 20 spots to be back on the clock. He's not making it back. So let's get different. Let's go Cardinal Tate. And let's trust the rookie breakout in Tennessee. Philly Bird Gang says Steven Marker. You're on the clock. You have Devontae Smith. Are you going Hurts here, or are you trying to push it? I imagine you're going to take Hurts, if I had to guess. Letting the clock run out. Yeah, that's what he does. That's what I opted against in the last draft. And maybe my team would have looked a little better with Hurts, but I still liked how my team ended up in the long run, all things considered. Couldn't miss Amon-Ra, Jiri. Amon-Ra, typically a very safe pick. LA in the house tonight. Whoop, whoop. Are you from LA, Jedi? Are you also from a fellow Angelino? Blaze it. They typically do 4 or 5 puppies over the course of the summer to season start. Yeah, this thing won't be open too long, but the team behind me does have Rome. So if I want Caleb, I think now's the time to take him. Here's the thing. I should probably take Parker Washington, though. He's on the thumbnail. This might be our last draft of the night. But F it. I don't think the team behind me is double passing on Caleb I'll just pair him up. And I do have that Bears-Lions bring back. With Colston Loveland, Caleb Williams feels nice with the stack. Could definitely see Caleb fucking crush week 17. Potentially be the guy that you just need. But if he's there, I'm definitely going to take Parker Washington. On the thumbnail, we get it. Let's go. Fuck yeah. Gibbs, Travis Achan. We have Pickens, so we could have pulled up Dak, but it's not the end of the world. I think taking a quarterback there, more exciting to pair up Caleb and Loveland, to be honest with you. I like that quite a bit, especially compared to the Dak Prescott stack at the top of the 7th. I'd rather have Herbert than Dak straight up, so to reach on Dak, not as exciting. But we get Parker finally, and I definitely need another receiver on this team. Carnell Tate, the receiver, too. Worth betting on, but a bit of a bold stance. Not a lock. It's crowded in Tennessee, and last year that offense sucked, but I think they're going to take some big leaps. I do think the Titans are much better coached, and the weapons are just such better talents, athletes, all around prospects. Carnell Tate, Wan'Dale Robinson will look so much better than DK and Ayamanor as wide receivers 1 and 2 in Tennessee. The most important part of eating edibles is being impatient and always eating another one prematurely. You have to remember, you can always eat more. You can never eat less. Every bite you take, you cannot take back, and you gotta pace yourself with edibles. There's a very smart way to go about it. There's a very reckless way to go about it, and I don't think there's a point when edibles stop getting fun, and it's just like, okay, I want to go to sleep now. And sometimes you can have a bad trip, but that's usually with other things. Weed, rarely, but I do know people who've had bad trips on too much edibles. I'm putting it in the air. Yeah, your liver turns into Delta 11. Yeah, fucking hyperactive. This shit's wild. 2 week 17 stacks to start. Yeah, the Eagles, Niners, and the Bills, Dolphins. Very, very legit strategy. You do take QJ at pick 81. Good to see someone highly coveting Quentin Johnston. Tank Bigsby is the best handcuff. Dude is explosive when he gets opportunities. You don't have to sell me, A-Rod. You know I'm the Tank Bigsby truther over here. I may have been the first, like, vehemently vocal supporter of Tank Bigsby in the big board. I was drafting him so much back then, and I know I'm not the only one on it, but I definitely was one of the earliest proponents. If you watch my stream with PPR Tyler, he gives me credit for launching the Tank Bigsby brigade. I convinced him, at least, on Bigsby. Does anyone remember Rupert from early Survivor? He's my favorite. Yeah, I loved Rupert. Rupert was awesome. True pirate. I rewatched his season a couple years ago, and he's like selling people's shoes instantly that left it on the dock. I'm gonna go Mahomes here because I think he's just a good click. And then we're kind of pushing running back a little bit. Well, with Gibbs and Travis, I think it's worth it. And then the plan is definitely to go with Worthy right here. We'll see what Binks does, whether he's watching or not. I think he needs a quarterback. Pretty sure that's what's going to happen. But a snipe would have been a bummer. He goes Goff. He had JMO. Made sense. Yeah, give me the Mahomes Worthy 8-9 turn. I'm satisfied with that. The Rice drafter pass, not gonna give him the privilege of the Mahomes fall at 102. There's still some good stacks that are really affordable. Like the Chiefs upside, man. Like I'm coming around, especially with their matchup against the Chargers week 17. It gives me the excuse to just kind of force that bring back into my lineup. I've been taking more Chiefs ever since the schedule dropped, but they're all good clicks. Now I even think Rashee Rice at his new price in the 30s, like where he went here, I think is where he probably should go. Rashee Rice versus Devontae Smith, a legit argument, but everyone after Devontae Smith, I think I'd rather just go Rashee. Rashee has true top 5 potential. Rashee could legitimately pay off a round 1 price if he just had any level of like maturity, like his maturity is what holds him back, but his talent and his role on that Chiefs offense gives him truly elite outcomes if he can get his shit together. But fading him is also a legit strategy as well. The Chiefs are all valuable. That's my take. Love Tate, have him ranked at 3 for turn. Glad to know you're a fan. Took him a lot at the 4-5 turn in the last puppy. Yeah. Mixing him in because he rarely is available on this side of the board. It's just like where he probably should go most of the time. But alcohol is okay for the liver. Oh, I didn't say that, Young Moolah. I never said that. You're never going to catch me promoting alcohol over weed. It's just the way the liver processes it. It's not, I don't think it wrecks your liver if you eat edibles. I think it's just your liver like really cranks up the THC and the hallucinogenic properties when it's ingested. That's all I'm saying. Like that's all I'm saying. I'll take my chances with the natural grass grown from the seeds of the earth. Plants over lab-made pills, I think, is my preference. I think that's what I like to stick with. I'm a weed and shrooms connoisseur. Not much else. I need receiver, so perhaps Concepcion is the click, but I'm just going to take Travis Kelce first. I think I'm going to let the team behind me decide my fate because I also kind of need to get back in at running back. And I know for a fact that I wanted to take Kelce around this turn. We get the worthy Kelce Mahomes stack, and that's pretty legit. That's fine with me. So he goes Jordan Mason. I'm starting to come around on Jordan Mason, but still not like the end of the world to not have him. But damn, running back, the pocket really dries out soon. Aaron Jones probably gets hurt at one point. He also has the same bye week as Gibbs. So I will go Rachaad White because I prefer Rachaad over JCM. I trust that Rachaad will stay on the field more. And although he's a bit more of a floor play, I think that actually is a bit better for the sake of my team. Like I waited for a while. I might require 6 running backs to have the third with the floor aspect of Rachaad White's skill set as opposed to the spike week skill set of JCM. It's best ball, so maybe you do want the spike week. I'm starting to come around a little bit on JCM. Now that he's definitely in the 11th round. He used to be at the top of the 10th, and I didn't get that at all. Definitely preferred Brooks over JCM. Now that he's like vis-a-vis straight up with Rachaad White and Aaron Jones, like the Vikings Commanders backfields, they're both a little mid given the split. But JCM, I think, is the one that can lose his job potentially entirely. Like, I don't think Mason's losing his job. Aaron Jones, I think, has the main job in Minnesota, but old enough to expect to get hurt. And Claiborne could pop if given the opportunity. So Aaron Jones with the injury risk, JCM with the lack of a floor. At RB3, I would have been fine with Jordan Mason. I think I would have taken Mason over Rachaad, but I think I'm definitely taking Rachaad over JCM still. So that's what I do. And it looks like in this scenario, I'm Rachaad over Aaron Jones, but it's the same tier. Rachaad, Aaron Jones, definitely the same tier. If you want to go Aaron Jones, be my guest. But not convinced he gives you more than like 10 games. Jedi, born and raised in LA. Yo, that's awesome, man. Same here. I'm in the I'm closer to Pasadena, but I'm in LA. I'm in Northeast LA. That's what I'm repping. That's where I grew up as a kid. Lowering Love's rankings for having to play Rams defense so many times. That maybe is a problem. I mean, it's only one more game than the other opponents, but yeah, Rams defense looks like a big avoid right now. Definitely a big avoid at the moment, but I really like Wandale this year. I liked him a lot. Let's see if Resgod stacks him up. He goes Jonah Coleman. Sweet. I think I'm going to take Cam Ward. Maybe I don't have to, though. Team behind me has Nico. Yeah, I'm not going to take him on this one. I'm gonna wait, actually. Damn, running back sucks. Fuck it. I'm just going to take Cam Ward now, not fuck around. He fell a little bit, so a lot of these clicks were uninspiring, to be completely honest. But definitely stopping at 2 tight ends. I have Cam Ward, the big bet there, with Carnell Tate. I expected Binks to go strat. He had Nico, but he only had one quarterback. He might have double tapped the position. Damn, what sucks is the value here is tight end. Oh, shit. Yikes. I'm going Jalen Naylor here, but I don't feel great about it. I think I've spent too much at tight end to take a third, especially given some depth. I still want a running back. My running back duo is very good. So maybe I'm overthinking it, but my receiver room is a little thin. So I don't think I can afford a third tight end on this team, and that's just kind of the nature of like spending early. There's so many valuable tight ends. You can always get bailed out by fading the position, especially in round 13. So unfortunately, it's just not the best value on the board. Double tapping receiver might have been the move. I don't really want Woody Marks on this team at all. But getting the Cam Ward stack, that's our luxury pick. That's the pick that maybe is a little unnecessary, but definitely going to increase my advance rate chances. The thing about Caleb, he has a great ceiling. He also has a very low floor. There's some games when Caleb disappears. And then Mahomes also might have a slow start, might actually miss some time. I don't think so. I think he'll be on the field, but I do still think Cam Ward can have a major breakout. And I pulled up Carnell Tate. The Carnell Tate decision there is what kind of drove the bus on that Cam Ward click. There wasn't that many good options other than QB and tight end. So one of the two clicks I think just had to be the better value. Come around on Jordan Mason. What more do you need? He doesn't catch any passes, man. And I do think that Damon Claiborne can pose a problem for him. I think there's a world where that is possible. Jordan Mason needs volume, and he also needs a good run scheme. He is actually very touchdown dependent because he doesn't catch passes. His maximum receptions in a game is 2, and it's very rare he ever catches more than 1. It's just not his skill set. So when Aaron Jones goes down, Mason's going to get a big bump in touches. No doubt about it. He will be the guy in Minnesota. But he didn't prove to be capable of carrying an elite load for very long. He did break down when he was the starter in San Francisco. You still needed Garendo down the stretch the year that Jordan Mason was the Niners back. So I played the Jordan Mason experience in San Fran. There was parts of it that I thought were a little overhyped. And when he went to Minnesota, it's historically been a team that is not super valuable at running back under Kevin O'Connell. It's tough to get more than like 6 or 7 total running back touchdowns combined in Minnesota. I've been tracking them for a few years. It does happen sometimes, but it's only ever happened with Aaron Jones, and Aaron Jones definitely outplayed Jordan Mason when healthy last year. Jordan Mason didn't play well enough to convince me he's the guy, but the offense will be much better with Kyler, so entirely there is more upside, and for that reason, while I'm not convinced he'll reach the ceiling, I think his ceiling is higher than I may have given him credit for earlier in my evaluation. But we're coming back on the clock, and I definitely need running back. My boy Bigsby is the top of ADP at that running back position. Receivers pretty flat here, a lot of similar clicks. So give me Bigsby. Move on. Going to be back on the clock in just a few seconds. I'm done at quarterback. I need running back and receiver. We're done at tight end with Loveland and Kelsey. Round 15, so 3 clicks after this. And I will say, if I take Sean Tucker here, I think I can stop with 5. I could go Singleton, though. I could get the Titans bet, but I don't know. The main path for Singleton to be relevant is if Pollard gets hurt. And if that's the case, I don't think Tajay is giving up his pass catching role. So the stack is pretty irrelevant with Singleton. It's just the path for touches. And at the moment, I definitely think Sean Tucker is much more likely to see the field than Nick Singleton week 1. So let's go Sean Tucker. Weird vibes with Bucky Irving. A really good value this late. Sean Tucker for sure in the 15th round. So I think I can stop with 5. We got Gibbs and Travis. That's good enough to bet on. The floor with Rashad, and then the late season spike week league winning bet on Bigsby, and then possibly a year-round role for Sean Tucker, especially on the goal line. I think that could be hyper valuable if he's the goal line back in Tampa. So despite some concern, that Rashad White click came very much in handy, and I think I landed the plane at RB. I think I'm going to stop with just 5 because receiver was a little bit odd. Like maybe Carnell Tate is just that good, but to not have Waddle, Adams, or DJ Moore, it feels just a tiny bit thin. But we got Parker Washington, we got Xavier Worthy, I have Jalen Naylor. This is a bit of a Jiri football type of draft. Not every single pick, but his boy Gibbs, his boy Parker Washington. Not sure how he feels on Tate. Not going to call him his boy, but I don't think he doesn't like him. But definitely the Jalen Naylor click, that brings it full circle. We got 3 clicks that Jiri would approve of. During the lights off says it doesn't, it just changes it to 11 hydroxy THC. Right. That's the legal terminology. Got a little gluttonous, took a spoon of can of butter and then 2 glasses of wine at Christmas dinner with family. Had to promise grandkids to give it all up. I miss it though. Yo. I feel your pain, 2 mules. I feel your pain. Is Cheech also from Northeast LA? Let's go. Definitely tracks. Definitely on brand. That's for sure. Kyron's a big win because of the Myles Garrett signing. I think I'm going to put Ridley on this team. Because whether he stacks up or not, I mean, he either stacks up, and it makes sense. He should be healthier than last year. But if he's traded, then I think he could actually be really interesting. I think the main argument for Ridley right now is his trade potential. So I'm not going to take him a lot, but I will take him stacked at 191. There's not that much risk. but there's also not that much upside either. There's too many mouths to feed in Tennessee above him. But I'm locked into receiver, I think. Um I'm going to get a little bit odd with it. And I'm going to pass on Zachariah Branch today. Maybe a very good click, but we're going to bet that Tyreek Hill is indeed a Kansas City Chief. Weird enough vibes with Rashi. Might as well bring the band back together. So give me the Xavier Worthy stack, the Tyreek Hill stack, and the Travis Kelce stack. The Tyreek one is hopefully potential, but I'm planning to take an eighth receiver regardless. So I can tolerate the risk with Tyreek. Might be really bad, but if he comes back on the field, if he signs with the Chiefs, he's flying up the board. Let's be real. Let's be completely honest about it. He is flying up the board if he signs with the Chiefs. Disbanded, I like it, but have a lower tolerance to edibles, and I smoke and dab all day. Be careful with the dabs, man. I mean, maybe it's just me and my asthmatic lungs that can't handle the dabs, but be careful with the dabs. I've had rough times with the dabs. Definitely hits different. Yeah, that's for sure. That's an understatement. The Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason thing is tough. Yeah, Jones is too good. As long as Jones is there, he's too good. But you know he's going to get hurt, and then maybe Mason is actually just not good enough. He might just be completely clouded. You know, all of his imperfections might be just completely clouded by the Kyle Shanahan system, which makes a lot of busts look good. Like Garendo has no value today, and he looked also usable in that system when Mason went down. Both efficient last year, 4.6, 4.7 yards per carry, pretty solid rushing yards. OE, over expected. Maybe goal line work to Mason. You would think, but Kyler can also run it in himself. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be something to watch. There's potentially a lot of value for one. I would say Jordan Mason probably has the highest ceiling because that Jones injury is probably a lock. But I also think that like there's a world where even if Jones does go down, he's still like barely pays off. You know, like a little bit more valuable than where he's being drafted. Like maybe he should be going. That's the thing about running back, though. Running back's kind of weird. Like, we also take Kyle Monangai and Blake Corum 2 rounds sooner. You know, like, he could be more valuable than they are and still not be, like, the best click in the world at 120. So, I'm coming around to it. I think if he was there, I would have taken him, but I wanted Kelce for sure, and I just let Binks decide my fate. Because I'm still not totally sold on which one over the other. But I'm at receiver. I could go Tyquan Thornton, but I think that's overkill. I'm going to go Jade Walker, actually. We're not going to go Colt Kmet. Not today. I'll mix in a Jade Walker. Definitely could score some touchdowns. He got the best celebration in the NFL, so get that on television for sure if you want to gloat. Get the Jade Walker Skywalker, you know, that it looks like he's walking on air type of thing. Let's get him in lineup. We have Caleb Williams and Colston Loveland. He's one of those extremely cheap bears that I think you can mix in a little bit. I wouldn't go overboard on it. I'm definitely not going to be more than like 5% Jade Walker, but if I finish with 3% Jade Walker, I'm not going to be too mad about it. That's for sure. So, an interesting, fun roster on this one. Let's recap it. Going with the 3-5-8-2. Perhaps the Cam Ward click was a little luxurious, maybe unnecessary, but I am happy to have 3 quarterbacks most of the time. Structurally, it is the main way most people are drafting. But Caleb, Mahomes, and Cam Ward feels very legit, especially with the correlating stacks that I've set up. Gibbs is a bring back for Chicago and Detroit week 17. Travis Achan in New Orleans, no bring back, but a very valuable round 3 running back. Rashad White, our RB3, solid floor play, will stay on the field all season long, barring an injury, but not the highest ceiling. Needs touchdowns to hit double digits mostly. But Bigsby, love the contingent value. Sean Tucker might just be one of the best clicks on the board right now, especially if Bucky continues to stay unhealthy. But then receiver, we got Pickens unstacked. Carnell Tate with a major bet on him. Parker Washington, talented in a crowded offense, but I think one of the go-to weapons for T-Law, I think his role is pretty secure. And if BTJ sucks again, then Parker Washington to the moon. But worthy for the stack with Mahomes, Naylor, hoping for some spike weeks. At the moment, one of the highest paid pass catchers in Vegas, so that's worth something potentially. Calvin Ridley currently stacks up with Cam Ward, but if he's traded, I think his value actually goes up. So I'm fine clicking him every now and then if it's stacked. But Tyreek Hill, we're hoping he gets signed, and if he does, you know for a fact he's definitely being drafted above 194, especially if it's with Kansas City. Jade Walker also stacks up, definitely more of a rare click. This depth is tricky. Like, there's a lot of tricky receiver clicks on this one. But Colston Level, the elite tight end, you pay a price when you take him. Kelsey can hit the flex, so maybe not the end of the world to have this receiving room. And then we did pay up a little bit on quarterback in this one. Maybe the Cam Ward decision might be costing me. Instead of Cam Ward, though, I'm taking Jawan Jennings, Trey Tucker, Antonio Williams, Denzel Boston, Jalen McMillan, Dejon Stribling. There's not many receivers that are that exciting. It's kind of just like maybe taking Caleb Williams was the bad click. Maybe I overspent with someone like Caleb. Maybe having an extra receiver at the 6-7 turn would have been necessary. But I'm making the big bet on Carnell Tate on this team. I'm making the bet that Carnell Tate is actually very mispriced. And the last time we had a wide receiver 1 that was drafted top 5 in the NFL that was being taken in the 5th, 6th round, it was Jamar Chase. And we haven't let that happen since. You know, we've paid a massive premium last couple years on the number 1 rookie wide receiver. Like Tedero McMillan still getting the huge projection that he's just elite because of draft capital. Meanwhile, Carnell Tate was taken 3rd overall, not 8th overall like Tet was, and Carnell Tate goes 2 rounds later. I don't know if we are giving Carnell Tate his proper credit. I think the hype on him could go nuclear in the offseason if last week's camp reports continue. I think now is the time to get in on Carnell Tate if you haven't already been doing so. I think he has the chance to fucking crush. So, interesting team, major bet on Carnell Tate, and we'll see. But with Gibbs and Travis, I think I can definitely find my way to the top of the format. If I'm right on a few of these receivers, I got to be right on some of these calls. Receiver will decide it, no doubt. Everything else I think is really strong. Okay, I was at the 102. We're assuming Binks is watching, but has not said anything last I checked in the chat, so not getting a team review. I'm going to save my breath. Supso has been in here a couple times, so if I have time, maybe we'll check it out. But we're drafting with Razdog. He's new to the channel, at least tonight. So let's take a look at his roster at the 105. Got Drake May, Jackson Dart, very viable quarterback room. Fine stopping at 2 with that combo. Taylor, Cam Scatterboot, not afraid. Bucky Irving at 53, not afraid either. But I've gotten Bucky in the 6th round. I think, who'd you take? I think I'm Quinshon over Bucky. That's my take, but I think it's fair to take him mid-5th if you still like him. But clearly you're not scared on Scatterboot and Bucky Irving. Jonah Coleman, Good luck. I don't really come around to it unless it's a major fall. I don't like Jonah Coleman at 140. Dylan Sampson, also not my favorite click, but a true handcuff. You know he gets the touches if Quinchon is out. But if you don't like Quinchon very much, passing on him does make Sampson make a little sense. But we got AJ Brown on this team with Drake May. Malik Neighbors not afraid at all. So you just heavily commit to the Giants. No fucks given on the Giants scare tactics. But Cortland Sutton, a fine floor play click. Could score a bunch of touchdowns. It's possible he's really good. But Ricky Pearsall, you took Wandale. You didn't stack him up. Could have, but didn't. I got him instead. Trey Harris, very good click. Darnell Mooney also stacks. And then Malik Washington in Miami. Very legit, very interesting receiver room. If Neighbors crushes, you are in business. But likely also stacks Hunter Henry, Theo Johnson. So massive giant stack. I would assume, ResDog, you might be a Giants fan. If that's the case, it's very interesting that you also got the Patriots, but I feel like the Giants are less sour about the Patriots giving you both of those Super Bowls as opposed to the other way around. The Patriots drafters are less inclined to go with Jackson Dart. So you know what you're doing? You're making a very smart fade against the public, against the emotional New England fans that will not draft Giants at a high rate. Perhaps that's a stack that will be less rostered in theory, but bold call, worth the, if the public's going to be scared, worth the bet every now and then. The major commitment on the Giants, I respect it. No doubt. I respect it. So fun team. I don't have, the running back rooms. I think you know how risky it is, but yeah, no fucks given on the risk. Let's go for it. Fun team. Good luck. I think Cotton might be in here. Did Cotton announce himself? I apologize, Cotton, if you're watching. You might have said something, but honestly, I'm not totally sure. I know Jackson Duffy's watching, though. I'm definitely going to review Jackson Duffy's team. Let's take a look. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the chat because I know I've fucking gotten buried once again. Jesus. Y'all are firing away in the chat. But I also, my version of like ADHD is like I just have to kind of like hyper focus sometimes, especially if I'm high. Like sometimes multitasking is a little tough. So for the sake of the team reviews, I like to lock in when I do them. Daniels, Malik Willis. Not bad. Ken Walker, Javonte, Warren Brooks, Tyjae, and Marshawn Lloyd. Very, very legit, very fun, very interesting. Y'all know I like Rico, but Tyjae, not my favorite click. Lloyd is worth a click every now and then, though. And then Brooks, I'm very happy with at 114 all day long, if that's the position that you want. Amon-Ra, Terry is stacked up. Adams at 55. Addison on this team. Michael Wilson at 103. Very nice. Probably more appropriate, but still might be too early on Michael Wilson. Very fun to see Wilson fall to 103. And then Chris Bell, Torrey Horton, fun clicks for sure. Bell is stacked with Malik Willis. And then Ferguson, Okonkwo, and Hawkinson. Okonkwo stacked. Got to get that Jaden Daniels, Chig Okonkwo combo. Decent team. Very decent. No real major red flags. Maybe just player takes, but the running back room is good enough to really not complain. It's just a question of if Malik Willis can be a viable quarterback too, and you can get away with it because Daniels never gets hurt, you're in business. But I worry a little bit about Malik Willis on on a 2 quarterback build. I worry about Malik Willis a little bit, especially with a slightly injury prone option with Daniels. But both can run the ball, both elite spike week potential. Fine with it. I'm fine with your approach. Fun team, very viable, if you ask me. We also had Super Beast and Zero Fucks in this lobby. I'm getting to it. I promise you, bro. First one in here tonight, I'll definitely get to it. The second one, no guarantees, but Jedi Niner was in here. So we reviewed you on the last one. An Allen Herbert team. Did you get stuck with the week 7 bye? I've been there. I've been there. Not sure you wanted Mendoza, but yeah, the double week 7 happens to the best of us. The Philly Bird Gang also in here. Right. Let's take a look at Philly Bird Gang. Yes, definitely. Steven. Hurts and Purdy. So got the week 17 combo, whichever quarterback scores the most, a viable strategy. The bring back with Cook and Achan, also viable. That should be an interesting game. Jadarian Price, Emmett Johnson, Jordan James, very legit running back room. Stopping at 5, totally legit. Devontae, Mike Evans, Quentin Johnston, Josh Downs, Khalil Shakir, Antonio Williams, Stribling, and A.D. Mitchell. Willing to pay the premium on Antonio and Stribling. And at least Stribling is stacked up, but not sure I'm in love with Antonio Williams in the 150s. I feel like he's kind of expensive. He moved up the board fucking fast, fucking quick. So, not sure I love it. Receiver is solid enough, but having 8 is fine. 2 rookies and A.D. Mitchell. But I will say that the Williams click unstacked feels a little pricey to also reach on by 6 picks. But if that's who you like there's not that many options you can trust. I think it's fine in the grand scheme of things. But tight end, a little risky with Kittle, Kincaid, and Njoku. A lot of injury concern with Kittle, but is stacked. A week 17 could go off. Definitely understand the decision. But Kincaid, very injury prone, kind of boom bust option. And Njoku's a backup tight end. This is tough. I hope that Kittle is healthy enough in week 7 because you're also live to get a bagel. Yeah, tight end is tricky here. Tight end is very bold. Receivers, interesting. Not sure I love it, but it's not bad. It's interesting. And then running back is very solid. Quarterback is good. Fun team, not bad. Super Beast, a member. Sorry we just went in this direction, but we're definitely getting it to you. Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, totally viable with CeeDee Lamb and Zay Flowers, very legit. Chase Brown for the bring back with the Ravens. Bishal Tootin, Dobbins at 106. Rodriguez at 111, very fine with that. B-Rob, I take him a lot. And then Mike Washington, 183. Reached on him, but an interesting player. I got him in the 18th round earlier today. So he falls sometimes. I don't know if I'm dying to reach 10 picks. You took him above. Running back was very thin at that point. I get it. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to complain about that at all, given the context. Lamb, Flowers, Egbuka, Coker, Boston, Tesla, Fields, and Surratt. I'm totally comfortable with that, but Coker feels like he's carrying a big weight when it comes to this bench. There's some tough expectations on the true bench here. Good luck, but they can all spike when you really need them. And then Surratt could be a steal. Same with Malachi Fields. Good interesting rookies. And then Boston's just talented. Kraft and Goddard, totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. Fun team. Good running back room given some of the patience there. Yeah, a patiently well-built running back room. And then maybe the bench at receiver. Might burn you, but worth the risk. 0, our last review of the night. Last but not least, we got Kyler, Bryce Young, and Aaron Rodgers in this one. Saquon, Quinshawn, R.J. Harvey, Pollard, and Braylon Allen. So far, very strong, well-built rooms. Receiver with Jefferson stacked up. Garrett Wilson unstacked, but Tet McMillan is stacked up. Diggs, a very good click. Rashid Shaheed, Jalen McMillan at 158. Good value on that. That's where I think he really should be going. Him and Hurst, I think in the 150s, 160-ish, I think is more appropriate. So proper value on McMillan, Jeremy, and then Chris Brazel at 206. Very fine receiver room. 3 studs and then 5 legit backups. I like the rookies. Good value everywhere. Yeah, strong. And then tight end is very good with Warren and Laporta. Zero Fucks has a great team. Rogers is unstacked, but legit. Oh no, he has Jeremy. It's not completely unstacked. Very, very well built team. That's a good one. No complaints. Like legitimately no complaints. Like Brazel stacked up too. Sam Laporta at 110. Damn, this lobby gifted you Sam Laporta. The only dilemma is like maybe these backup quarterbacks don't offer really anything. But Kyler could be one of the best clicks on the board. So yeah, all checks out. Other than player takes on maybe the running backs, there's really nothing to say other than good job, good team. Okay. Time for our last puppy of the evening. I got it for free. Is it in our... Yeah, here we go. Here's one thing you have to remember, though. It doesn't automatically happen. Once you earn it, it is added to your promo tab, and you have to hit the apply button. It's available for 2 weeks, but the contest probably doesn't stay open for that long. So just remember that you have to also hit this button, apply to earn, to entry before you do it. So I'm going to do it. It's 10 p.m. I told myself I'd go live for at least 3 hours tonight. And this is our last draft of the evening. Really, really fantastic turnout tonight. 77 likes. Y'all are fucking awesome. That is really dope. Means a lot to me. Let's apply it. This $5 bonus has been applied. This is a free entry for your boy. It can also happen to you. Make sure you use the promo. All right, I'm going to give you all a little countdown, but it's going to go fast. I'm hopping into the puppy in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Instafill, popular tonight, and we get the 102 again. Fuck yeah. Let's rip some music for that. Shout out Jamie P-Rog with the music on the channel. I'm next to P-Punch. Of course we're next to P-Punch. I feel like we're always next to P-Punch. Deal Me In is next to me at the 103. Forch at the 104. Not sure if you're watching, but Benny Jet 96, welcome back. Zero got back in. Damn it, this will be a tough one. Nahueldi 10. Sorry if I mispronounced that at the 7. Let us know if you're watching. We also got Soups in here again. Soups has been in every single lobby. I think we're gonna review Soups because he's earned it the second time tonight. But then M Stockton in here at 111, definitely gonna team review. And then Rick 323, not sure, but Aikman is God at the 1. Wow. Jamar at the 101. We just went with Gibbs. So boy, I sure am gifting Deal Me In a nice little prize here. But if I give him Bijan and he gets a stud value at 22, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. He gets Gibbs, so he can still get a really good value, but Bijan is usually not getting paired with a big value at pick 22. Deal Me In better fucking take Gibbs. Yeah, if you let Gibbs fall to 4, you are crazy. But P-Punch, going Jamar. Jamar has a legitimate argument for the 101. Zero does approve. But I will just take my Bijan share and move on. We get a free roll with Bijan at the 102. Do we have until midnight tomorrow to complete 4 puppies? Yes, it is tomorrow. Midnight, the minute before midnight, so 11:59 p.m. on June 2nd. For me, it is still June 1st. If you're on the East Coast, that would be to the end of the night. You're welcome, Keith. Of course. No worries, Zero. One more draft. Yeah, you know it, Jedi. It definitely happened. Definitely happened. Glad to see the Gainwell hype. Always liked him when he was in Philly. Yeah, Gainwell's legit. Gainwell's got a chip on his shoulder. Fresh legs as well. Given his length of time in the league. Got some fresh legs for someone his age with his veteran status. Not as many touches as you might think. 2% Bucky on the dip, 20+% Sean Tucker in the 200s. Yeah, I'm also in a very similar camp. Maybe I have like 3 or 4% Bucky, but it's very similar to this. I'm 20+% Sean Tucker for sure. Yeah, gotta fade Bucky. In the 6th, maybe I'll take him, but gotta fade Bucky, I think. All right, what happens here? Travis went at pick 20. Not sure how I'm going to like this down the stretch, but I'll go Jeremiah Love, and we'll put P-Punch in an interesting position. The thing about Jeremiah Love, I'm not sure. I think Jerry said this as well, and I totally agree with it. Not sure he's the best advancement piece in the regular season, but I do think if you make it to the playoffs with him, his schedule's lit, and I think he could really deliver. And this will be an interesting one. Not sure how I'm going to love the team when it's all said and done, but I'm going to go trip RBs out the gate, and we're going to take Breece Hall as well. We're going to go Bijan, Jeremiah Love, and Breece Hall. Definitely not the only way to get it. You can definitely get it at the 101, but I'm going to go strong at running back, and I think we can land the plane. Had A.J. Brown been available, I might have taken him, but don't want to take Pickens again. I just took him. I did say I'm kind of underweight on Pickens, though, so maybe I should just bite the bullet. But let's get a little different. Let's go trip RB. A little less common start. Steven, I think it's just... He's definitely earned the respect that he gets. He's played very well when given the opportunity. Yeah, glad he finally got a chance to ball. Definitely rooting for Kenny G. Get your guys' season starting early. Yo, that isn't nice. M. Stockton, 29% Sean Tucker in pre-draft, 21 post-draft. Makes my Nick Bills hard as diamonds. Good for you, Stockton. I'm glad you're getting the perkiness. Still going, alive and well. But the soundtrack is on, right? Yeah, soundtrack is on. Thought I forgot it again. Heading out. Good luck in the final draft tonight. Thank you, Hallie Lion. Appreciate you very much. Good luck to you as well. Early round 3 is a lot less appealing after that last couple of weeks of news. Yeah, no, the 2-3 turn is a bit of a tough spot. But if there's one position I'm not afraid of just having a surplus of early on, it's probably running back. And while Breece and Jeremiah are a little tricky, we can definitely just lean on Bijan and having one of them in my flex most weeks. I think we can get away with it. I think we'll be okay. Wanted to piss but couldn't pass my guy JT. You like JT at 6? Good to know. All right, back on the clock. I'm going to take Devontae Adams as wide receiver 1. Evans, I really worry about their schedule. I think he could break down with injury. You know he's going to miss some time. Adams did get hurt last year. Adams also old, but I'm willing to let P-Punch decide if I take Evans on the way back. Don't think I'm going to go... No, he goes Evans himself. Might just take Rome. Not going to take a running back here. Kind of want to pull up Carnell Tate again, but I got a lot of J-Mo. I'm going to go with Rome Odunze. And I don't plan at all to take Caleb Williams. If he's there, maybe I do it, but I think the way I'm trying to build out this team, I'm probably not going to grab Caleb Williams, but I might. Who knows? Never rule anything out, but have a good night. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. We are definitely rolling for this final one, but this will be it. I had less concerns about CMC, but there are valid concerns, so I moved him after Amon-Ra as a start. Yeah, very legit. Fair to be fading CMC. The entire Niners, I have a hard time believing they're going to hold up. The trip to Melbourne to start the year throws everything out of whack. It just does. It's not ideal at all. The team is old as fuck. They always break down. They always have injury-riddled luck. They always miss time. They have a good stretch at home for a while. They actually have an interesting schedule early on. It's not that bad in terms of travel. They kind of stay on the West Coast a bit. But then they also go to play in Mexico City in altitude, and they have like a really gauntlet stretch after that. Like all their games starting that week are so bad. The two international games, I think, really fuck over the Niners and their health chances. So I always keep that in the back of my mind when I think about the Niners. Evans is old. Evans, I could definitely see breakdown. Same with McCaffrey, for sure. So I think having Taylor over McCaffrey for those reasons is definitely fair. Taylor probably makes the most sense as RB3. You can make the argument for Genty to be much higher. Definitely also qualifies as RB3 potential. Have you talked about Chris Rodriguez's foot? I have not. I did not. Genty is the new age Frank Gore. Interesting take. We'll see about that. It's a little early to know for sure, but legit take. Gore was never like super flashy, but just stayed viable forever. Played really well though. One of the best to ever do it. Hall of Famer probably, if he's not already. Frank Gore is an impressive human being. To still stay that viable at the running back position deep into his later years. Really awesome. Okay. Receivers getting a little weird. I'm going to go Mekhi Lemon. And then we'll see what P-Punch does, but there's definitely a quarterback value on the way back. Do I snipe Deal Me In? No. P-Punch snipes him on Drake May. He has A.J. Brown, said, I can push him. P-Punch says no, but we're in the 7th. I am definitely Jalen Hurts over Caleb straight up, so I will take Jalen Hurts with Mekhi Lemon. Despite also having Caleb as an option. I'll go Jalen Hurts and Mekhi Lemon. Because receiver was a bit odd in that position there. Just a little bit. But Zero building a good team has the Terry Jaden Daniels combo. Taylor and Bowers grabs Chuba at 78. It's about Chuba starts to fall. What happened to his foot? I'm going to have to find out myself, honestly. Honestly, I'm going to have to find out myself. Is there a news blurb about it? Not on Underdog, so I'm going to have to find out separately. Let me do a little Google search. in a separate window. Honestly, I'm not sure. The Google response says currently there is no active foot injury. But it's not Twitter. I'm not checking Twitter. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. But it's June 1st. I'm not gonna overreact unless it's like a really bad situation. But I don't know yet. Talk on X about bringing in another running back. Missed a couple practices. Joe Mixon vibes. Oh shit. What time frame do you need to do the 4 puppies? By the end of Tuesday. By Tuesday night, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, so 9 p.m. on the West Coast. Tuesday night, that is tomorrow. If you are still on Monday time. On the West Coast, it's still Monday. So tomorrow night, you have 24 hours. You have 22 hours and 40 minutes. Just under 23 hours to complete the 4 puppies. Any scar on Neighbors and you think it's a risk on him this fantasy season? Neighbors at the moment feels like a fade. Probably worth scooping up, but could fall dramatically at the moment. So at this exact moment in time, I'm not dying to draft him too much. It's not the end of the world, but I'm not dying to do it. My receiver room is probably the bigger weakness, and a lot of these receivers are gambles, but QJ, very happy to still have on the board at 95. Super happy with a 5-pick fall on Quentin Johnston. I'll take that all day, even unstacked. Not many stacking partners, but Stafford does pair up with Adams. We made a big bet on Adams, so for the points, it does make sense. I've seen him fall. Maybe receiver was the right click there, because sometimes receiver does not fall back. But I'm just going to stop with 2. Hurts and Stafford on this one. This is a weird one. I don't think I want to overcommit to quarterback, so if I don't get Stafford there, there's no other stacking partner, and I really don't want to have a Geno on this team or a Jacoby Brissett. I do not want to stack Love and Brees and then Tua, not excited with that either. So I'm just going to take Stafford, just going to lock it up. I took Adams as my wide receiver 1, so going to just really trust him, make the bet on him. And now I think I'm done at tight end. 0. Depends on your risk tolerance. Since money week is week 17, he's worth the gamble to me. Yeah, that's very fair. I noticed you took him at 30. I think ahead of Rashi, I'm willing to take Rashi above him. I think I'm also willing to take Devontae above him. Flowers and T. Higgins went above him. That's an interesting discussion. I'm not convinced that's correct. But I think at this moment in time, if it was me, I think I would have gone Rashi over Neighbors personally. But I do think he's worth mixing in. I don't want to full fade him for sure, but I'd rather take him after Devontae Smith and Rashi Rice. 10 hole with 1 receiver is egregious. Rick 323 at the 10 has Jefferson, then went Achane, McBride at 34, Jacobs, Lamar Jackson, Bucky Irving, Jalen Warren, Tucker Kraft, Jacoby Myers, J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, really testing fate. Cowboys matchup week 17. I'm in. That's a very fair point. Touche. Yeah, definitely not a reason to full fade. It's why I'm in on Cam Scatterboo as well. Yeah, week 17, very, very juicy matchup. I will give you that. Very legit point. If that's all you're playing for. Which In general, that is the case. But 9 hours ago, I do see a post by Jeff Mueller. I'll pull this up after these next two picks. A little tweet on Chris Rodriguez. Dobbs makes it back. I think I'm just going to take him. Prevent P-Punch from getting the stack. Sorry, bro. Sorry, man. Not many names I like remaining. I'm just taking Romeo Dobbs. You already have 5 receivers, though. You didn't quite need him other than the stack with Drake May. Goes Aaron Jones. Mason we could take. There's the bring back against Breece Hall. But I kind of just want to pull up Stephon Diggs or take Jaden Higgins. You know what? Today, I think I'll take Jaden Higgins today. I have a lot of Stephon Diggs. Travis Hunter, 123. I've seen that happen a bunch of times. Not the first time I've seen that. Mules got me worried about C-Rod now. Yeah, let me pull up this this tweet here. This was posted earlier today at around 1 p.m. June 1st, 2026, which is a repost of this tweet. Chris Rodriguez dealing with a foot injury. Can't find any other info on this. Only move I could potentially see coming is for a running back since Rodriguez's foot is messed up. It's rumors. I'm not sure if it's a lock. Not totally sure. Mr. Bakes a lot. What's up, homie? Saw Blunt on the channel name. Had to drop in. Yo, thank you for hopping. I'm literally about to take a rip, so you came in at literally the perfect time because I'm sure you're baking up a bunch of edibles. I'm sure you make brownies with a shit ton of THC in them. So this is for you. Thank you for subscribing. I think we're gonna do you proud. Literally perfect timing. We smoke weed on this channel. We need to start vetting these sources. I know, like, I don't want to put too much stock into it. If that's what the rumor is at the moment, he's not on my roster. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to worry about it. But who knows? Maybe it's tricky. But yeah, it's still June 2nd. It's still the second day of June. Technically, it's still June 1st. Source, trust me, bro. Almost took C-Rod there. Thankfully pulled up Rashad instead, thanks to the news report. Hopefully it is accurate. I'll do a little more digging tomorrow, because right now, kind of just want to lock in for the rest of the stream. We're almost done. We're halfway through, and C-Rod has already been drafted on a different team. It's kind of out of my periphery now. But deal me in. Take a running back, please. Let me get... Fuck yeah. Let's get the fall on Dallas Goedert, tight end 1. My boy. Definitely not letting P-Punch scoop him up. Give me Goddard all day at 143 when I have Jalen Hurts. The Mekhi Lemon, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts combo. Let's go. This is a bit of a goofy chicken fantasy type of build. We got the 3 elite RBs. We're going to wait a minute for our 4th and 5th. My tight end room is kind of sad. I mean, there's not much volume, and this is the pocket of the draft where I want a tight end. So give me Chig, some divisional correlation, but a Jags matchup week 17. That one could be fun. And Chig Okonkwo doesn't have much target competition other than Terry and some young guys. So give me Chig. We've seen him provide legitimate top 15 value very often in Tennessee, let alone I think the chance of just upgrading the role in Washington this season. Definitely a world where he's one of the best clicks. I know Who Hames loves him, and I've taken him a shit ton myself. I think I'm at 16 something percent on Chigokonkwo. I've definitely drafted a lot of Chigokonkwo. Definitely overweight. But draft Mike Washington with your last pick if he's there. If he's available in the 18th round, I will definitely take Mike Washington, especially for you, bro. But that's just a great value. Mike Washington in the 200s, definitely worth a click. I was going to take him if you didn't. Yeah. You had Jaden. Sorry for the snipe. I just think Chig is a good click regardless. But yeah, at least you get to diversify, you know? There are so many teams that have the Jaden Chigokonkwo stack. There's so many. My 11% Rodriguez bags are starting to smell bad. I have quite a bit of C-Rod as well. I do have quite a bit myself. Currently looking through some of my pre-draft DK stuff. I guess I took Odell Beckham one time. That's funny. Who aims a true degen drafting OBJ in pre-draft? Yo, that's diabolical. Who? Tell me it also fell into the Jackson Dart stack. Tell me that team also has Jackson Dart. That's really funny. No way I'm drafting Odell. Fuck that. Okay. I'll take a rip from the pipe. I definitely want to clear this bowl before we're done. And you know what? Maybe I draft Stowers on this team. Wow. Bigsby. Sniped by Benny Jet. My boy. My tank. Antonio Williams circling back. Zero does not want him. I'm starting to have a decent receiver room. I got Adams, Rome, Mackay, QJ, Romeo, Dobbs, Jaden Higgins. There's depth. I don't know if it's like elite, but there's depth. It's okay. I'll get back in at running back, but do I take Brian with Bijan? That I'm not sure about. Shit. Fuck. He's the best click on the board, though. No, he's not. Sean Tucker. Can I get it in? Fuck yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, give me Sean Tucker when I have Bijan instead of Brian. Question is, do I take him? Do I still just take him, though? No, P-Punch takes him. Sweet. Thank you, P-Punch. But we're at 170, officially a solid discount on Antonio Williams. Wouldn't hate it. It does make some sense. Yeah, fuck it. Sorry, Zero. You're going to have to diversify even further. You did take Debo over Williams. And Debo, we think, is leaving the Commanders. So don't give a shit about the stack. Fair. Very fair. I mean, with Jaden Daniels, it's really not the end of the world not to have a stack. You don't want him, take him, please. Just take Boston. That's fair. Oh, right. You were 1407, not 1406. I may be 50+% Bigsby. Damn, sustainable. That's even higher than me. Good for you. You did not have Dart. Bummer. I'm about to get Odell off waivers in my dynasty tonight. Probably going to drop him in a couple months. Who knows? Maybe not. 25%. I'll draft more now with the dip. Dope. Very nice. Sweet. I'm glad I had Sean Tucker there instead of Brian. I like Brian Robinson, but I don't think I'm going to take him when I have Bijan. A man of the people. I did what you requested, even though I didn't see it until after I did it. But it's tough to get this price on Antonio Williams now, so I'll take him. I'm not going to get him at 191. And maybe he sucks. Maybe he's like, you know, Luke McCaffrey just doesn't deliver. So maybe it's the same situation. Maybe Jalen Lane is the guy you want. But you take Ayuk. Oh, no. You take Dylan Sampson. I mixed you up with the next team again. My bad. Yeah, Dylan Sampson over Ayuk. Locking in more touches, for sure. I've got a 2-4-7-2 so far. I think I'm going to stop with Hurts and Stafford. And honestly, maybe I shouldn't have taken Okonkwo. That's a pocket of the draft where it's just valuable enough to take unstacked, but maybe I shouldn't take him because there's still 2 backstacks I can get. But I'm talking myself into maybe just putting Stowers on this one as a bit of a hedge. But in all honesty, I don't know if that's how I want to play it. I think I'd rather just bet on one rather than the other. I'm going to see what P-Punch does. I think I'm just going to get ahead of P-Punch. Because there's some good tight ends. And also another stacking partner in LA with the Rams. So I'll let P-Punch decide my fate. I'm not quite sure. But Darnell Mooney's still here. We'll go Darnell Mooney. I definitely want 8 receivers. Only need to stop at 5 running backs. The difference between round 17 and 18 at running back is very negligible. Emmett Johnson could have been in contention, but not gonna panic not to get him. And so I think right now, right here, the choice is between Eli Stowers. Do I take my first share of Eli Stowers since the pre-draft? I had a decent amount of him. I think I had too much Eli Stowers. But I regret it. You know what? Not today. I'm still going to be stubborn that you want Goddard, not Stowers. And if my Goddard selection was correct, then it's because he stays healthy and Stowers doesn't really get the opportunity. Maybe some of y'all like having both, but I'm just going to stack up Stafford with Terrence Ferguson. The Stafford backstack. Not many are available. Not many are viable. But I think if you're going to go tight end, give me Terrence Ferguson, who can score from legitimately anywhere. Can give you a big spike at tight end. Not many of them. Probably not too often. But with Stafford, I will scoop that up. For sure. Let's just bet that Goddard is correct. And it's at the expense of Stowers. I'm not going to hedge. But in general, I didn't expect to get Goddard at 143 in the first place. Usually he's not there at the end of the 12th round. Pleasantly surprised to get my boy, Dallas Goedert. That's fair. Beckham, a pretty good round 30 pick. Yeah, round 30 for sure. Definitely. Sladen, what's up? A man of the people indeed. We're not going any later though. We've reached the 3-hour mark, and I think this is the most likes I've ever gotten on the stream. We're at 83 likes. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We had no poll today. Just people enjoying the content. Last round, I think I'm locked into running back, and if Jordan James is there, I'm fine with that. We could go James Conner. There's a world where it matters, but probably not worth it. He probably gets hurt. I'm going to take James Conner out of the equation. Claiborne could get some touches in Minnesota. So could Kimani Vidal in the Chargers offense. Nobody ever drafts a Bengals backup, so maybe Samaje Perine is indeed worth mixing in. I never take Samaje. I will say, though, if the C-Rod news is legit, We have a lot of commanders on this one. I think I'm going to go LeQuint Allen. If the C-Rod news is legit. Maybe it's not, but this running back click is kind of fucked either way. Let's do it. LeQuint Allen with the scroll. We got Bijan Robinson, Jeremiah Love, Breece Hall, Need Him to Carry Me, Sean Tucker, and LeQuint Allen. Let's stick with that. Adams, Roma Dunze, Makai Lemon are my receivers. Adams and Lemon are stacked up. QJ, Romeo Dobbs at 119. I took Jaden Higgins as well. The volume at receiver is not bad. The rookie bet with Antonio Williams, a bit expensive. Might still be too expensive, but at least it's 11 spots, almost a full round past ADP. And then Darnell Mooney at 191. So despite waiting on running back on receiver, pardon me, Adams at number 1, a little tricky. An interesting combo. Adams and Rome, 2 round 5 guys, but the combination of the two might be a little bit more unique, a little bit more rare. And as long as Adams stays healthy, his touchdowns should carry him. Lemon stacked up. So the receiver room, despite, maybe not like the truly elite guy, I kind of like the overall depth. Like Higgins is number 6 at face value. Sounds decent. If Mooney crushes, then I've got good enough depth. And then some rookie bets as well. Not bad at receiver. And then tight end, the Goddard fall and stack feels pretty sweet. Chig, just a legit value. And then Terrence for the Stafford backstack to legitimize the selection. That's the quarterback room. I think I skimmed over it. Hurts and Stafford, so 2-5-8-3 with Bijan at the 102. Running back, carry me. Let's hope that clicks, but yeah. Fine, legit team. I don't have a ton of bringbacks. Like the only bringback really is like Sean Tucker against the Rams. Nothing for that Eagles game. I don't have any Niners, but I mentioned I'm worried the Niners break down and get hurt. I'm legitimately worried about their schedule at times, but we did get the Commanders versus the Jaguars, Washington and Jacksonville. I have LeQuint Allen. I got the Jaguars running back. Mac Nova, LeQuint, a reasonable round 18 dart throw. If that news is true, if the C-Rod thing is legit, why the fuck not? I had to scroll with whoever I was taking, and I've taken Trevor Etienne already at like 6-7%. So why not mix it up a little bit? I still believe in LeQuint, a good pass catcher, not much else. If Beckham starts going above Dobbs, he's doing God's work for the rest of us. Is that what happened? Did Beckham go in this? Was Beckham drafted? No. Beckham over Romeo Dobbs. Get out of here. Don't do it. The Jags would just bring in Eckler or Harris. Maybe Najee. I could see Najee, but they already spent $6 million. Right? Didn't they spend a lot on Chris Rodriguez? Maybe they wait for him to get healthy. Honestly, I'm not totally sure who. It's just odd rumors. Apparently there might be a foot injury. I'll look a little more into it tomorrow. But there's a chance that Chris Rodriguez might be having like foot surgery or something. Something weird going on. I genuinely don't know, and I don't want to skim Twitter on the stream. So Zero, that was a fun draft indeed. Just feels to me LeQuint upside is a third of the work with a third guy in the mix off the streets. It could be worthless, man. It definitely could be worthless. I won't push back on that too hard, but at the moment, maybe he has a role. Tried to become a member. Not sure if my device glitched or it worked. Yeah, I see the green. Yeah, not sure I saw it when it happened. But yeah, you got the green. Definitely appreciate you joining the blunt rotation. Definitely get a team review every time if you're a member. McNoba, he plays a ton on third down already. If he gets a little more early down work than expected, he's potentially viable. Yeah. Talented enough to get on the field. Very specific skill set. But sometimes the third down back is the guy you need randomly. And yeah, like you said, if he can run it a little bit more than we think. Interesting scroll in round 18. I don't think scrolling in the 18th round. Like, this guy in front of me took Evan Ingram. I guess, but like, nah. I'm not excited. Like, somebody took Jack Betch. You know, like, sometimes you just scroll and it's just as legit as taking who's at the top ADP. There are other round 18 backs I prefer, but Allen is draftable, says McNova. And if I'm not mistaken, McNova has some very legitimate voice in the space. I believe won big last year. Don't laugh at OBJ. People were throwing 90 ADP dart at Julio. I mean, yeah, but it's not like it worked. I'm not taking OBJ. I'll leave him alone. Mixon took C-Rod for a ride on his four-wheeler. I hope not. Jesus. Hell no. Imagine if there was some like terrible. You ever watch Mad Men? If you watch Mad Men, you'll know what I'm talking about. Imagine he was suffering from a horrible lawnmower incident. Imagine if that's what happened. That'd be brutal. That'd be brutal. Yeah, even 2 years ago. Very good point. Only for nostalgia, so that he can retire as one of the G-men, is my guess. Okay, I reviewed my team already. We got P-Punch in here, a member of the channel at the 101. Took Drake May and Mahomes. May was unstacked at the time. Not sure if he would have taken Romeo Dobbs had I passed on him. But Swift, Ramondre, Aaron Jones, Jonah Coleman, B-Rob, and Emmett Johnson. Very fair running back room. Maybe not elite, but the rip in case of emergency, DeAndre Swift, never going to be upset with that. And then solid enough depth. But the Jonah Coleman bet, I can't quite get behind. Only the Dobbins injury makes me interested in Jonah Coleman. I'd rather not bet on that at pick 144. Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Chris Olave, Mike Evans, so really elite receiver room. That's why maybe the Romeo Dobbs option wasn't that compelling to you, but did offer a stack. Have Worthy also stacked up with Mahomes there. Totally fine. Trey Harris for the bring back. Torrey Horton, fine. Click at 216. I definitely take him sometimes. Travis Kelce with the stack. Hunter and Kate Otten. Totally legit. High spike week potential with Kelce and Henry. If Otten scores more touchdowns than he has in the past, he is definitely getting a lot of volume. And at 193, a little discount as well. I would have probably taken him as well, given the build. Very solid with that choice. So good team. The Mahomes backstack, always viable. Mahomes is a great click, even if you don't have Rashi or Ken Walker. Running back is a gamble. Let's not pretend it's not, but everything else is really strong. Running back hopefully works out for you. But you took Jamar over Bijan and Gibbs. You called your shot from the get-go. So fun team, P-Punch, got unique, and gave me Bijan at the 102. We were also in here with Zero, a member. Thanks for joining the blunt rotation. You got Jaden Daniels, I believe unstacked other than Rashad. So Rashad does fit as a good stacking partner. Oh, you do have Terry. I didn't realize you had Terry later on. So very well correlated. Jackson Dart with Neighbors, Not Afraid, as we mentioned. Jonathan Taylor, Chuba Hubbard at 78. I mean, a 10 pick fall. I think he can go further than that. I still don't really love him at 78. I still think Rico is a better click, but for the sake of a different price. Definitely worth it. 10 picks later, I get the click, even though I don't love the player too much. But Rashad, Jordan Mason, so solid depth. Getting both of them a little unique from the middle of the board as well. Dylan Sampson, Mike Washington, very legit RB room. The Chuba selection is polarizing. I don't love it, but 10 picks past ADP, I'm not going to fault you at all. Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Jalen Waddle, Michael Wilson at 102. It seems like it's official. Michael Wilson is now a triple-digit pick. Not seeing him too often in the top 100. I've seen him fall past that a couple times now. I think it's back-to-back drafts that we noticed that. Omar Cooper right at ADP basically. Trey Tucker a little bit above ADP, but fine. And then Denzel Boston, talented, but in the Browns' crowded offense. Maybe a better click than Concepcion. Perhaps a tremendous value when you consider the talent. But the Browns, gross. Bowers, Stowers, and Theo Johnson. So the luxury third tight end, but given the big gamble with the rookie and then the backup in New York, Theo is stacked. That's notable. Fun team. I might have grabbed one more receiver. I feel like receiver has some risk to it. For sure. If Neighbors crushes, then this probably pays off, but this is still kind of risky. These four, especially if Neighbors doesn't start off strong, could just put you in a hole that's tough to get out of. But worth the risk. The tight end position's elite with Bowers, so that's where I think maybe one of those picks could be different. But it's just a round 18 selection anyways, so it's not that much different. But if I got Otten or Pat Freiermuth, I was going to go 8 wideouts. Yeah, you made the push. You did not get Freiermuth. Very close, though. Very, very close. I almost helped you out by taking Ferguson. But typically, I'm always grabbing Freiermuth or Otten above Ferguson, but I had the stack, so wanted to justify it. Interesting, very fun team. The Stowers, Theo Johnson. Very fun. Yeah, nice build. I can't really complain about anything. Like, it's whether or not Neighbors pays off. But odds are, when you need him to pay off, he's available. And yeah, probably not going to let him fall too far into the fourth. Okay, let me take a look at who's in here. Stockton's in here for the first time. I think Stockton also might be a member. I'm not totally sure, but Stockton, definitely the first draft of the night, gets a review. Soups made it in here again. Benny Jet 96. I think I reviewed your team already, Benny Jet. But I'll do all of them, honestly. I'll do Benny Jet. I'll do Soups because he made it in like every single one. But first we'll do Stockton because it's the first one of the night for sure. T-Law, Malik Willis, Geno Smith. A little gross, but the T-Law acquisition, always valuable. Willis is good. And then I took Geno on the last one, but well past ADP. I don't love reaching on Geno at all. You do have Garrett, but tough. Would he have made it back to you at the next round is the question. Probably. I had Brees. I was going to pass on him. Would Zero with Omar Cooper have passed? I think so too. So I think you reached too early on Geno. Not liking it. But you can also get away with it. It's also something that you can still find a way to finagle your way out of. But Genty, Chase Brown, Beischel, Tootin. If the C-Rod news is indeed legit, then Tootin looks like a smash. He'll be moving up the board. Tony Pollard and Braylon Allen, very strong running back room. The Allen fifth is maybe not that critical, honestly. Like, I think you could have actually gotten away with just 4. But pick 203 last round. If you're going to take a 5th, better be last round. So, not going to fault you at all. Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson, Brian Thomas, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Coker, Jeremy and Malik Washington. Might have liked an 8th, but only because Wan'Dale's at number 4. I think it's probably good enough, but the double Malik W in Miami, maybe not the best stack. You'd have Greg Dulcich on this team, Strange stacked up, and then Kyle Pitts at 107. So, yeah, took Geno a little bit early, but it's stacked. I think I might have just commit to the 4 RBs. Final round, 1 more receiver. How much does it change anything? So marginal. Honestly, I think you got away with the Geno Smith pick. It's really, it doesn't stand out too much, except for just the 21 pick reach. But you have to wait 20 picks for your 15th rounder. So would he have made it back to you? A very legit question. I would have passed. Maybe somebody else would have sniped you, but the team next to you, Rick, only has Lamar Jackson. Maybe they would have played hardball. Maybe it wouldn't have happened. Very interesting, but yeah, such minute complaints. A good team, despite the reach on Geno. I think it did. I think it does check out when it's all said and done. All right, we are also reviewing Benny Jet 96 and Soups, and I think that's going to be it for the evening. Bryce Young got sniped, wanted to lock in a third quarterback. Makes some sense for sure. Don't disagree on Coleman. I just don't want to be out on Peyton, drafted at running back, expensive price for a possible bust pick. Yeah, the bust potential, the most expensive RB3, you know, highest injury risk. If it wasn't for Dobbins being so injury prone, I don't think his price would have any legs to stand on. It is expensive, that's for sure. Yeah, Zero was not going to take Geno himself. I was not inclined to take him, but you're welcome on the thoughts. Thank you for joining the rotation. KC still the GOAT. I don't know about that. I think it's still Brady, but the Chiefs are still very valuable. Yeah, we all like the Denzel Boston touchdown clip from OTAs. He would be going so much higher if it wasn't the Browns that drafted him. Like that's ultimately the truth. Same with Concepcion and same with Omar Cooper on the Jets. They got fucking nuked by the worst franchises in the NFL. 3% Chuba, so I have to mix him in. If you, yeah, at a discount, it makes some sense. Spoilers, no, we just want random people overdrafting him. It's a win. Feels like Amari Cooper vibes with OBJ. Yeah, that checks out. Disbanded, we out here. Yo, disbanded. Apologies. Are you Benny Jet? Which team disbanded? What's the hype case on Brown this season? Chase Brown or AJ Brown? Which Brown town would you like? Sustainable is Benny the Jet. Gotcha. Shit, I was taking Boston pre-draft in the 90s, 110s. I believe in the talent. Yeah, Boston has fallen probably too far, given how good he is. But it's the massage bet. It's gotta be tough. But give me Shador. If I'm drafting a Cleveland Brown, give me Shador. I did slow down as he did dipped, but he's a great profile. All right, let's take a look at Benny Jet. It's almost 11 p.m. Benny Jet was at the 105. A tough spot to draft from. I don't like the 104 or 105 too much, in all honesty, especially if you don't get a running back to make it back to you. You have Burrow, Cam Ward, and Rodgers. Love the value. You have 2 week 9 buys, but Burrow is in week 6, so very valuable trio to have. You did reach, though, on Rodgers at 149 and Ward at 125. So maybe not as valuable as I would have thought, but notable price tags here, especially on Rodgers at 149. You also pulled up Travis at pick 20. That's why I don't like pick 5. It's a tough spot to be in. You can get buried at running back if you don't reach. So a fair reach on Travis, in all honesty. I don't mind it. You have Travion at 53. Good click. Blake Corum at ADP. Rodriguez, we rumored maybe is a bad click right now. Might be falling if the foot injury is actually a big problem. But Bigsby at 164. I would have been in the market for Bigsby, so I think that is a fine click in, I believe, round 14. No, round 15, I think, is where you took him. I think round 15, if my math is right. 14 or 15, one of the two. JSN at pick 5. Higgins at 29, pulled him up a little bit, is stacked with Burrow. Metcalf at ADP. Pearsall at ADP. Bell just slightly above ADP. And then have Kupp and Franklin. So some rough clicks down the stretch. Tight end, though, is strong with Loveland, Gadsden, and Gunnar Helm. This is a weird one. Especially with the Rodriguez news. I'm not totally sure what to make of it. Like, there's a lot of legit good clicks, but then wide receiver makes me very concerned. The depth does not inspire me at tight end, and I think you didn't need Gunnar Helm. Either Gunnar or Gadsden can go. Make him a receiver. Gadsden, at least you're getting somebody more viable. So, yeah, give me Shaheed, or definitely Shaheed in hindsight. I think I would have liked that quite a bit. Because receiver just doesn't have enough, like... It's great up top, don't get me wrong. Great up top with JSN, Higgins. You did have JSN, though, so taking Shaheed, I get maybe not wanting to do. There's a lot hinging on Metcalf and Pearsall, and those are guys that I'm not like Pearsall's all right at 101. He's not my favorite receiver in the world, but Metcalf I think could be mispriced. They're not my favorite players to count on, but behind them I think it's really tricky to trust Bell, Kupp, and Franklin. But JSN and T. Higgins should check out. Higgins, though, often misses time. And if he has another 12-game season, that could cost you from advancing. But if you advance, I think you're in very legit shape. The Burrow stack with Travis, Travion could definitely check out. And then one of these running backs could crush. It's a little thin, a little tricky. Little bit tricky, but it definitely has a shot. I don't want to write it off, despite some of my concerns. Not at all. But the Loveland pick, unstacked, puts running back in a slightly tough position. And then, yeah, it's these last three that just scare the shit out of me. That's really why I'm averse to it. But not the end of the world. Good luck. And then Soup's in here. One more review for Soups. My boy Herbert and Bo Nix, already love it with Herbert. Hampton stacked up. Price and Harvey stacked up. Gainwell at 113. A discount on Gainwell. Love that. Holy shit. Ray Day. Very viable. Super legit. Loved him last year. Hopefully gets the opportunity this season. But Amon-Ra, Rashi Rice, Luther Burden, Carnell Tate. We mentioned we love Carnell Tate earlier today. And then Stephon Diggs, Jalen Naylor. If Diggs doesn't go to Vegas, then Naylor is valuable for sure. And then Flournoy, Ted Hurst. Good clicks down the stretch as well. Love the receiver room. Tight end, a little bit tricky with Kincaid, Juwan Johnson, Jake Tonjes. But Tonjes hopefully stays on the field for a while. Juwan, one of the safest clicks of the bunch. And then Kincaid, high risk, high reward, very boom bust play in Buffalo. Right at ADP, unstacked. I think I might like this team a little better if this was a Rondé Gadsden. Just because Kincaid kind of doesn't... Kincaid just feels super random. Like, he's fine, but I don't think he's more valuable than some of the tight ends that went the round after. And it's just, you know, the stack would be nice. So I personally am just taking Diggs over Kincaid. So to get him back is a bit of a bailout sometimes. Sometimes he's definitely coveted. In this draft, he wasn't as much. But if you wanted to pass and still get Diggs, Andrews I like more. I like Diggs than Gadsden. I still believe in Goddard, and I also like Isaiah Likely more than Kincaid. So that's my personal take on it. Those are just my ranks. Everyone has different ranks. All right. Fun team. Receiver room is lit. Receiver room is really strong. Might be a little too strong. Maybe one of these maybe doesn't have to be there because this feels very, very good. So running back is great. Quarterback is legit. Tight end a little shaky. And then everyone always has luxury pick. Yours is receiver. No faults, no complaints other than Kincaid. Unstacked. All right, that's going to be it. That will be it for me. I think I'm ready to check out. And Gustavo in here. My apologies. Chase Brown, why is he so high on draft boards this year? Because running back is just so coveted, and it's the Bengals offense. It's definitely legit. And a little exercise for you. I might be doing it in a future video, but head over to Pro Football Reference, head over to Chase Brown's game logs, and if you correlate them to when Joe Flacco took over as quarterback and Burrow returned healthy, despite a very bad start to the year, Chase Brown was actually outperforming most other running backs. He was definitely a top 10 play down the stretch with Flacco and Burrow. So definitely a legit click in the second. Is he my go-to option at the top of the third? No, I prefer Hampton, but I don't think Chase Brown is a bad selection at all. And just look at how the board shakes out. Once Genty comes off the board at 11. Oh wait, I'm not showing you at the moment actually. Whoops. Okay, look at how this board went. Genty at 11, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight running backs, Bowers, and then an 8-pick reach on Travis Etienne, another running back. Running back is hyper coveted. You have to get guys in the second. That is where all the value is right now. And I think it's appropriate. I think it definitely makes a lot of sense. So if you like Chase Brown more than some other names, look into his game log. Once Flacco got under center, it really picked up. Chase Brown can crush, and he has no competition. His backup is Samaje Perine and Taj Brooks, who was a complete bust last year. Chase Brown's a very legit pick in the second round. 2.9 ADP discount on C-Rod now. At least it's something. We are so back. Big 5 is the perfect 0 RB position. Got to mix in some of those builds. Yeah, pick 5 for sure. You can get stuck in a easy 0 RB, even if you don't want to. So Benny said, fuck that. He was not going to risk it. He took Travis. And honestly, there's a world where T. Higgins outscores London, but I think I would have gone A.J. Brown there if it was me. Just leaned in, perhaps, but easy to say when it's not your team. You're welcome, Sustainable. Pittman over Pearsall says 0. The Myles Garrett discount on Gainwell. Right, I suppose, but Gainwell was already mispriced, already too cheap. I still think he should go a little higher. The Loveland reach always bites you in the end, but it's fun. Yeah, Loveland, I don't know if it's a reach at 44, but when it makes it back to you in the 5th, it feels so much better. Thank you, Zero. Appreciate you joining the blunt rotation. Hartman Peace. Good night. Good night. Thank you, Peanut Punch. This one was fun. This one was good. And thank you to everyone that came out. We're 11:09. Might as well wait till 11:11, but nah, I'm just going to pack the bowl real fast, and we'll say goodbye. It's 11:10, so maybe I do make it to 11:11. But it's officially June 2nd, even in the Mountain West. I'm the only time zone that's still June 1st. Gotta relish it for what it's worth. All right, I'll see y'all later. Peace out. Good night. One last rip for everyone. Cheers. Good night.